Chapter 1042. Fong Ping did not pay much attention to the chaos in the Donglin catacombs. Recently, the catacombs had been in chaos. Demon wars often broke out in the Royal Sea Mountain region. It wasn't a big deal for a demon beast to break into the outer realm. Very soon, however, the situation in the Donglin catacombs caught Fong Ping's attention. Who was Old Man Li? The current #1 on the rank 9 list. Old Man Li had reached 600 meters on his origin path. He was now a level 7 origin powerhouse. His own vitality was almost 230,000 calories. After doubling his vitality limit, it was a full 460,000 calories. In addition to his longevity swordsmanship and sky-crushing sword, Old Man Li's limit was probably more than 500,000 calories. His control over his power had never been lower than 80%. With such a realm, no rank 9 would be a match for him, barring the absolute peak. On the 20th of March, Old Man Li was going to Donglin Catacombs to take a look. On March 21st, Fong Ping received a call from Old Man Li. Tell him to go to Donglin. It was very urgent. After receiving Old Man Li's call, Fong Ping arrived at Donglin in less than 10 minutes. East Forest Province. Fong Ping's biggest impression of Donglin Province was the Chun family. The Chun family was full of loyal warriors. Apart from the Chun family, there was another acquaintance from East Forest, Zhao Xuemei. Zhao Xuemei was from Donglin Province. She was the 3rd best student in the college entrance examination, and the top scorer was Chun Jiaxing. Fong Ping still remembered Zhao Xuemei saying that after the Gaokao, Chun Jiaxing had talked to her about it. He hoped that she would stay in Donglin and bring glory to Donglin Martial Arts University with him. When they were strong enough, they would guard the Donglin catacombs. Zhao Xuemei did not agree. She chose to go to MCMAU because her father had just died in the Tian'an catacombs not long ago. Zhao Xuemei needed a stronger martial arts school to support her cultivation. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had passed. Zhao Xuemei hadn't shown up in a long time. And now, Chun Jiaxing was also a fierce general in the Donglin catacombs. A fierce general. Donglin Province, Gold City. The Donglin Catacombs passageway was in the suburbs of Gold City, in a military base in the suburbs. The moment Fong Ping arrived, the first person he noticed was the young man with a ramrod straight at the front of the crowd. He had an ordinary appearance and a pair of hooks on his waist. The Chun family's Wugo. At this moment, the young man was no longer wearing an ordinary martial arts uniform. Instead, he was wearing the military uniform of a lieutenant general. When he saw Fong Ping, the young man's eyebrows shot up, and he said loudly, "Hello, Minister Fong." Behind him, several experts from the military department greeted him. Chun Jiaxing. A smile appeared on Fong Ping's face suddenly. It's not easy for you to still be alive. Chun Jiaxing also smiled when he heard that. He and Fong Ping had not seen each other for a long time. Both of them met during the first Martial Arts University Championship. Actually, Chun Jiaxing had never fought against MCMU before. They had fought CCMAU twice and lost both times. They did not even have the chance to encounter MCMAU. However, Chun Jiaxing, Sun Mingyu, and a few other former members of the Martial Arts University Alliance were admired by everyone a few years ago. They had lost, but what he had lost was his strength, not his spirit. The 10 participating members of the Martial Arts University Alliance fought fiercely, surpassing all the other universities, all for the sake of fighting for a little more resources for the Martial Arts University they belonged to fight for a little more hope and opportunity for the local area. At that time, Cathay was still poor. He was really poor. The number of martial artists had increased greatly, but they were unable to obtain the corresponding resources. The three major companies were still hoarding resources, waiting for the people to spread martial arts. Zhang Tao had big plans and big ideas. However, while the plan was huge, resources were scarce. Left with no choice, he could only use the limited resources to nurture more experts who dared to fight. Therefore, the Martial Arts University Championship was born. Therefore, in the first Martial Arts University Championship, a group of geniuses who dared to fight emerged. At this moment, seeing Chen Jiaxing, Fang Ping was quite emotional. He was also in a good mood. Chen Jiaxing was also in a good mood. He was not handsome, nor was he simple and honest, but he looked very down to earth. In fact, in the past 3 years, he had indeed been down to earth. One step at a time. Back then, he was already a rank, too. He advanced step by step, leaping over each other. In the later years, when resources were abundant, Chen Jiaxing, as the most outstanding prodigy of Donglin Martial Arts University, also received some training. At the beginning of this year, Chen Jiaxing entered rank 6. Until now, in March, Chen Jiaxing entered middle stage rank 6. His speed was also extremely fast. Middle stage rank 6 was nothing. At least among the current batch of prodigies, his rank was considered very low. In MCMAU, he might not even be ranked. However, Chen Jiaxing was neither arrogant nor rash. Even though his reputation these few years was not as high as 3 years ago, in Donglin, he had received a lot of praise from powerhouses. Donglin's governor, Donglin military branch commander, many grandmasters in Donglin had high hopes for Chen Jiaxing. Chen Jiaxing was Nanjiang's Wang Jinyang, even if the difference in strength between the two was very big. Minister Fang, call me Fang Ping. Fang Ping laughed, took a step forward, patted him on the shoulder, and said with emotion, "As always, you make people feel that you're reliable. Although you're very weak, but humans also rely on weak but fearless martial artists like you to support them." Chen Jiaxing did not know whether to laugh or cry. Was this a compliment or a belittling? Fang Ping was still as unruly as ever. His words were unruly. Behind him, a few powerhouses from the military department also held back their laughter, not making a sound. Chen Jiaxing also did not care about catching up with Fang Ping. Very quickly, he said, Fang Ping, forget it. Just call me minister. This is official business. I'll call you by your name in private." Chen Jiaxing did not give Fang Ping a chance to speak. He said quickly, "It's like this. On the 18th, a great war broke out in the Royal Sea Mountains area. We're not very clear about the specifics. In Donglin, we haven't extended our defense zone to the Royal Sea Mountains area. We only know that a rank 8 monster with extremely strong strength broke out of the Royal Sea Mountains area and rushed into the outskirts. After that, a few rank 9 monsters also attacked. On that day, Donglin's 2 big forbidden zones seemed to have been mobilized too. However, the situation was a little complicated. 2 big forbidden zones. One side was helping the rank 8 monster escape. The other side was helping the monster chasing after it. In this way, there were more rank 9 monsters participating in the war. There were 2 big forbidden zones in Donglin catacombs. Usually, the 2 big forbidden zones had a good relationship. However, this time, they each had their own masters. They fought and killed each other, which also disturbed the entire Donglin catacombs. Chen Jiaxing continued. On the afternoon of the 20th, which is yesterday, Minister Li Changxing entered Donglin catacombs. He was worried that the demon war in Donglin would affect humans. Initially, Minister Li was only defending and had no intention of interfering. However, last night, a great war broke out between both sides again. When the war broke out, Minister Li said that something was wrong. He sensed a familiar demon aura. Fang Ping laughed. "Who is it?" Is it Jiao? That old man ran away halfway through the call. He's not young anymore, but he's still unreliable. Chen Jiaxing said hurriedly, I know about this. Minister Li just came out this morning, and soon chaos broke out in the catacombs again. Some demons attacked Donglin City. Minister Li had no choice but to enter the catacombs again to quell the chaos. Attack Donglin City? Fang Ping's gaze turned cold instantly. At this moment, the air in the entire military base seemed to have turned cold. How dare they? Do the demons want to die? Fang Ping let out a cold humph. How dare the demons attack a human city at this time? Chun Jiaxing explained, this matter is related to Minister Li. He sensed a familiar aura earlier and went to the place where the war broke out to check. Not long after, Minister Li brought back 2 monsters. Everyone knows one of them. I think it's the West Phoenix City's guardian demon, the Phoenix Spirit, that you captured in Magic City's catacombs. The other monster should be the same clan as the Phoenix Spirit, but it was seriously injured. The demons attacked Donglin City because of these 2 monsters. They demanded us to hand over these 2 monsters. Many rank 9 demons came, but Minister Li was here. He killed a rank 9 monster in an instant this morning and scared the other party away. But the other party is now contacting other powerhouses in the Donglin catacombs. It looks like they're not going to let it go. The Phoenix Spirit, Fang Ping said in surprise. This monster ran away, but it still dares to appear in the outskirts. It's got guts. The same clan as it, the Phoenix Clan monster. Fang Ping frowned slightly. He had captured the Phoenix Spirit. Old man Li did not need to pay so much attention to it. The Phoenix Spirit was a coward and afraid of death. It was normal for it to run away, but old man Li asked him to come. That was not normal. At most, he would escort the Phoenix Spirit back to Magic City. Thinking of this, Fang Ping smiled. Let's go. I'll go to Donglin City to take a look. Instructor Li is still down there, right? Yes, but Qin Jiaxing said hesitantly, Minister, the absolute peak does not enter the outskirts. It's fine. They don't know that I'm in the outer realms. It's not a big deal if I don't attract too much attention. Fang Ping chuckled. Of course, right now, he did not dare to be too ostentatious in the catacombs like before. This was to prevent the catacombs from finding out that he was in the catacombs and not in the human world. Once it was known, it might cause a lot of trouble, similar to Zhang Tao and the rest back then. The current Fang Ping did not dare to leave the human world easily. On the vast earth, there was only him, a pseudo-paragon, keeping watch. Even for the big operation 2 days later, the news leaked to the outside world was that Fang Ping would not enter the catacombs, but would keep watch on Earth. Not only that, the current him had to be like old Zhang, often showing his face in public. I have to let everyone know that I, Fang Ping, am still here. Old Zhang used to be on TV a lot, but it wasn't because he liked it. But he had no choice but to show himself, inform the human powerhouses that I, Zhang Tao, am still on Earth and everything is fine. He also informed all the powers that were keeping an eye on the humans that he, King Wu, was still on Earth and that all ghosts and monsters should scram. Because of this, nothing major had happened on Earth in the past few years. Because the Martial King was on Earth. Once King Wu was gone, the cult would have grown stronger over the years. The previous pope was most afraid of Zhang Tao, afraid that he would be captured by Zhang Tao, so he rarely showed his face in China. Hearing what Fang Ping said, Chun Jiaxing did not think that Fang Ping thought less than he did, so he stopped trying to persuade him. Soon, the group entered the passage. When the martial artists guarding the passageway saw Fang Ping, they were also full of energy and excitement. This was Fang Ping's first time in the Donglin catacombs. Compared to Zhang Tao, Fang Ping was younger. His rise to power was also shorter. Comparatively speaking, Fong Ping still had a lot of selfish motives. He was mainly in charge of Magic City, so he went to the Magic City catacombs the most. Next was the Nanjiang catacombs. Of these two catacombs, one was where MCMEU was, and the other was where Fong Ping's hometown was. He paid more attention to them. As for the other catacombs, Fong Ping had not been there many times. Some of them, he had never been there at all. However, everyone understood. After all, Fong Ping had risen too quickly. Before this, most of his energy was focused on Magic City. It was normal for him to oversee things there. After a few more years, Fong Ping would probably experience some changes. In the tunnel, Fong Ping restrained all of his aura. Even the shape of his face changed slightly. He had to be careful not to be spied on. As he walked, Fong Ping asked, "Do you know why the demons are hunting that rank 8 phoenix?" "I don't." Fong Ping did not ask again. A rank 8 phoenix. He only knew one. The phoenix. The phoenix that was a little shrewd and a little ambitious. However, the phoenix was Ji Yao's guardian monster. Why would it appear here? Moreover, the phoenix was the descendant of the Phoenix King. Did the demons dare to hunt down the descendant of a true king? The Phoenix King was not dead yet, was he? After a few more steps, the entrance to the passageway appeared. Fong Ping suddenly said, "I heard that the last time Zhao Xuemei entered the catacombs was in Donglin catacombs. These few months, has there been any news of her?" "No." Chen Jiaxing sighed. "Xuemei is really working too hard. Back then, I advised her to stay in Donglin Martial Arts University. Later, I realized that going to MCMEU might be the best choice." Before she left the last time, she had already reached peak rank 6. I think she went deep to break through to rank 7. When she came back, I believe she must be a rank 7 Grandmaster. It's been a few months. Don't worry, Minister. Chen Jiaxing laughed. A few months is not long, and it's not like there's no news. Previously, there was news that there were a few battles in the depths of the catacombs, suspected to be between high ranks. One side probably used Vitality Force, and that's probably Xuemei. She should be fine, and there's a high chance that she has broken through. Now she's looking for powerhouses to train herself. If not, she wouldn't have broken through so quickly. Constant battles, constantly putting oneself in a dead end. If one did not die, one would improve even faster. This was a shortcut for a neo-martial artist to become stronger. Of course, this path was also covered with blood. Fong Ping did not say anything more. That stubborn girl had been like this since a few years ago. Fong Ping had advised her a few times, but she was still the same. Back then, Lu Fengru had said that she was most optimistic about Qin Fengqing and Zhao Xuemei, not anyone else. Qin Fengqing, this guy? He did not know where he went recently. There was no news at all. Zhao Xuemei did not let him down. With her once-honed realm, even if Fong Ping had provided her with a lot of resources, if she really broke through to rank 7, it would be really scary. While the two were talking, Fong Ping stepped out of the passageway. "Get lost. If you dare come again, don't blame me for killing your nest." Fong Ping dared to come out. In the air, an extremely domineering roar came. Old Man Li held his sword, standing proudly in the void. On the opposite side, a few rank 9 monsters and rank 9 powerhouses looked livid. There were many rank 9s here. On this side, there were only 2 rank 9s, Old Man Li and a rank 9 who guarded Donglin catacombs. However, Old Man Li was not afraid at all. Incomparably domineering. "I said to stew and eat, and you still dare to come and make trouble. I gave you face, but you don't want it. This is the last warning, or else don't even think about leaving today." Old Man Li growled. and a sword ray shot out. On the opposite side, 5 or 6 rank 9s were on high alert, attacking one after another, joining forces to block. Rumble! There was a loud explosion, and a few rank 9 powerhouses took a few steps back. Some of them already had bloodstains on their bodies. If you don't get lost, I'll really be ruthless. Longevity sword. At this moment, on the opposite side, a peacock monster with a powerful aura raised its feathers, its mentality fluctuating violently, saying, "Guardian of the royal court, we have no intention to be your enemy. However, you killed my royal court powerhouses, kidnapped my royal highness. Even if the king of man is here, he must give the royal court an explanation. Hand over her royal highness. Hand over Phoenix clan elder Fong Ling." "What do you mean, your highness?" Old man Li humphed coldly. "I went to kill Fong Ling. How dare you? Since you've sided with us humans previously, then you should work hard honestly. How dare you run away? Humans only have one word for deserters: kill." As he said that, old man Li humphed. "The king of man is here? If the king of man is here, he's not as easy to talk to as I am. Let me tell you, if you don't leave now, when Fong Ping really comes, none of you will leave. That temper of his, if you dare to attack my human city, all of you will die." As soon as he said that, the powerhouses on the opposite side all had strange expressions. The peacock monster said angrily, "Longevity sword." I said, "Hand over her royal highness and Fong Ling, and we will retreat immediately. There is more than one demon king guarding the royal court, and we are not afraid of your land of rebirth. Your land of rebirth is already surrounded by strong enemies. Do you want to force the royal court to start a war with you?" Old man Li said lightly, "You have no right to talk about starting a war. Ask your demon king if he dares to start a war. I'll say it one last time. That little bird's injuries are too severe. It's dead. I'll stew it and eat it. That big bird. Fong Ling, it must be brought back to the Heaven Division and killed according to military law." As he said that, old man Li clenched his teeth. A strand of flesh appeared and shot toward the other party. After thinking for a while, a giant bone appeared in his hand. He tossed it out casually, cursing, "I said I'll eat it, so I'll eat it. If you want it, I'll pull it out for you. Do you want it? Fong Ling isn't dead, but you've thought it through. If you insist on taking Fong Ling away, then the traitor of the Heaven Division will be guarding the royal court. When it comes to traitors, we only have one word: kill. Kill. Even if we hide in the depths of the royal court, we'll still attack. Don't force us to start a war with you." The peacock monster took the giant golden bone. This time, its mentality fluctuated violently. The phoenix sparrow's golden bone. Damn it! Did the longevity sword really eat the phoenix sparrow? The phoenix sparrow was severely injured previously, but it was eaten by the martial artist who resurrected just like that. It ate a descendant of a true king. Even if it wanted to bring the phoenix sparrow back, it was not to kill it, but to imprison it. But now, Kongyu was on the verge of breaking down. If the phoenix sparrow was really eaten, how was she going to explain it to the phoenixes? As for the phoenix spirit, although it was an elder of the phoenixes, many people knew that the phoenix spirit had defected to Fong Ping previously. With Fong Ping's personality, it was normal for him to hunt down the phoenix spirit after it betrayed him. Whether to start a war with the humans for the phoenix spirit or to turn a blind eye, Kongyu knew the royal court's demon king would probably make a choice. The key was still the phoenix sparrow. It did not expect the phoenix sparrow to ambush them halfway. It fled toward the outskirts, fighting and retreating at the same time, escaping into 8 southern regions. It did not expect the longevity swordsman to come here and even attack. With lightning speed, he killed 3 ninth-grade demonic beasts, captured the phoenix spirit alive, and took away the phoenix sparrow along the way. Now, Kongyu was in a dilemma. The phoenix spirit was captured, and the phoenix sparrow's fate was unknown. Was she going to leave just like that? If that was the case, it would be hard to explain. Although it was not weak and was also a powerhouse in the rank 9 ranking compared to the longevity swordsman, the gap was not small. It was not a match at all. Was a war really going to start in 8 southern regions? While it was struggling, Old Man Lee said impatiently, "Don't force me to attack again. You killed a mere rank 8 monster and captured a traitor. Do you want revenge? In the land of kings battleground, I killed more than 10 of your royal court guardian true kings, but I didn't see you fart." Kong Yu's mentality fluctuated. And she said coldly, "Longevity swordsman, it's because of overbearing powerhouses like you that the land of rebirth is surrounded by enemies. This time, you killed the royal court true king's descendant and many demon generals. Cut the crap." Without another word, Old Man Lee rushed over with his sword in hand. Kong Yu harumphed coldly, but did not say anything else. She retreated quickly. Old Man Lee did not give chase. He stood on top of the city wall and said loudly, "Speaking of which, the phoenix demon beast tastes pretty good. I ate a dragon, that mystic dragon's descendant, the phoenix too. When are you guys going to get me some fresh ones to try?" Humph. Longevity swordsman, you'll regret what you did today. Regret? I do regret not eating the peacock meat. I'll try it now. As soon as he finished speaking, Old Man Lee shot forward. In front, Kong Yu and the other demons and the catacombs city lords fled. Although there were many of them, they did not dare to fight Longevity swordsman to the death. Now, although they did not know if the phoenix sparrow was really dead, Longevity swordsman had eaten the phoenix sparrow's meat. That was true. The shredded meat really belonged to the phoenix sparrow. Moreover, they did not sense the phoenix sparrow's aura in Donglin City. As for sending the phoenix sparrow away through the passageway, it was huge. If they really sent it away, they would have noticed it since they had been watching since yesterday. The only thing they could do now was to continue watching, to see if the phoenix sparrow was really dead. Whether the phoenix sparrow was dead or not was not too important. However, the phoenix sparrow's sudden escape, whether it was its own idea, Ji Yao's idea, or if it had other motives, she still had to pay more attention to this. The phoenix sparrow's identity was a little special. Kong Yu had to confirm if it was dead. After Kong Yu and the others left, Old Man Lee quickly returned to Donglin City. In the city, a large number of guards cheered. Longevity's swordsman. Invincible. The cheers were exhilarating, comfortable, refreshing. So what if I ate your true king's descendant? I captured your rank 9 demons and brought them back to be executed according to military law. Do you dare to barge in? This was a human. This was a longevity swordsman. This was exhilarating. All these years, humans had been suppressed by the catacombs. The catacombs could only bully them. Even when they fought, it was a battle of numbers. Once there were more humans, a war would break out immediately. They had to reduce the number of powerhouses in the city to maintain balance. Right now, there were not many people. There was only one person, and one sword, yet he intimidated everyone. Those rank 9 demons and city lords would not dare to offend him. High up in the sky, Old Man Lee laughed. Everyone, let's encourage each other. Humans are no longer a party that can be bullied by anyone. Of course, it's not to the extent of wantonly starting a war. Whether or not we can be completely exhilarated still depends on everyone. The stronger you are, the more exhilarating we will be. Sooner or later, we will slaughter our way to their lair. After encouraging everyone, Old Man Lee had already seen Fong Ping and the others. Although Fong Ping had changed his appearance, he still recognized him at a glance. Seeing that, He no longer hovered in the air. He landed quickly, gave Fong Ping a look, and quickly walked toward the city center. Seeing that, Fong Ping quickly followed. Did the old man discover something? Why was he acting so secretive? Why was the Phoenix Sparrow here? And was it being hunted by the demons? What happened to the Destiny Royal Court and the Guardian Royal Court? Fong Ping's interest was piqued. Maybe there would be some unexpected gains this time. 9 Heavens, Divine Emperor. Chapter 1043. Minister Li, spare me. Fong Ping had just entered the war supervisor's house in the center of the city when he heard Fong Ling's screams. The layout of the war supervisor's house was extremely simple. In the spacious hall, a huge map of Donglin catacombs was placed on the wall. There was not even a bench. At this moment, the gigantic Fong Ling seemed to have been shaved, much smaller than before. Fong Ling was lying on the floor in the hall, weak and listless. Beside it was a barbecue grill. Fong Ping even suspected that Song Mao had snuck over. In the next moment, Fong Ping knew he had misunderstood. Old man Li slashed with his sword. A piece of flesh and blood flew. Old man Li simply started barbecuing. While barbecuing, he said lightly, "It's fine if you ran, but you insisted on killing your way back to the outskirts. You just had to run into me. Fong Ling, you joined heaven. Traitors, you should know." Minister Li, Fong Ling's voice was desolate. This was a female monster. Her voice was also tearful. "I didn't plan to run. After the battle that day, I was going to return to heaven. Rest." Old man Li interrupted. "Don't say that to me. This old man has heard more lies than you. Those demons outside have left. It looks like they've given up on you. You tell me, should I barbecue you or stew you or just steam you?" "Minister Li, I'm also a rank 9. I can guard the airspace for heaven." "No need," Old Manly said, tilting his head. "Do you want some?" After saying that, Fong Ling struggled to lift its head. When it saw Fong Ping, even if it was Fong Ping in disguise, its bird face changed drastically. Fong Ping was here. It was doomed. "Minister, no, Lord Human King, I know I'm wrong. I won't do it again." Fong Ling trembled. It was over. It was really over. Its luck was unparalleled. It had just arrived at the outskirts, and it was already bumped into by Li Chongsheng. Now, even Fong Ping was here. Fong Ling was so desperate that it wanted to kill itself. Why was it showing off? If it had known, it would not have gone to Destiny Royal Court. Fong Ping looked at it and smiled. "Don't be afraid. I won't eat your flesh. Besides, you're a demon. You're not on our side. Running away is normal. I don't blame you." The more he said that, the more Fong Ling was afraid. "My lord, all right, cut the crap." Fong Ping cut him off. "I can't eat your meat. I still remember when I peed myself last time. Even cats don't eat it. Do you think I'll eat it?" As he spoke, he teased, "Teacher, do you want to eat this bird meat? Aren't you afraid of being stained with feces?" Old Manly was calm and composed. He said nonchalantly, "You still haven't suffered. This is a great supplement. Even if it poops right in front of you, it'll still excrete energy. It's also a great supplement." Fong Ping could not help but laugh. He sat down and said, "Let's cut the long story short. If I stay here for too long, it won't be good if someone finds out. It's nothing big. It's Phoenix Sparrow, Ji Yao's bird. The Phoenix Spirit was chasing after this bird. The Phoenix Spirit complained, 'Department Head Li, I was only trying to persuade Her Highness to return to the Phoenix clan. I didn't kill it.'" Old Manly looked at it and said lightly, "If you interrupt again, this old man wants to eat some phoenix marrow." The Phoenix Spirit quieted down instantly, not daring to make a sound. Old Manly continued, "I met the Phoenix Sparrow. It sent me a voice transmission saying that it has something important to look for you. That child of wealth of yours seems to want to give you wealth again this time. Fang Ping laughed. There's such a good thing. You don't say, Ji Yao is really my lucky star. When the catacombs are conquered in the future, why don't we build a sculpture for the catacombs? How about carving Ji Yao, the great hero who liberated the catacombs? Old man Li could not be bothered with him. He continued, the phoenix sparrow is not dead yet, but it's not easy to bring it back. I've stuffed it underground now and sealed it with vitality force. It's about to die. Should we save it? I'll go take a look first. All right. The two of them talked among themselves. No one cared about the phoenix spirit. They left it behind and went underground. The half-dead phoenix spirit still dared not move, even if no one was restraining it. The longevity swordsman was here. Fang Ping was here. If it dared to run, it would just kill itself, or it would die a worse death. After a while, Fang Ping saw the phoenix sparrow that was on its last breath. This phoenix had almost died this time. However, it was a rank 8 golden body powerhouse after all. Even if it was on its last breath, when it saw Fang Ping, it quickly told him Ji Yao's plan. After that, it begged, Fang Ping, helping Ji Yao is also helping your place of resurrection. Fang Ping rubbed his chin, saying lightly, it's not that simple. Is Ji Yao crazy? She actually let these people gather and attack us. Do you know that once Sky plants royal court and these forces see this situation and send their troops at the same time, how dangerous it will be for humans? I think Ji Yao might be up to no good. Follow me and use the injuring myself trick. When I really appear, maybe 100 rank 9s can hold me back for a while. Very soon, many paragons will come charging. Fang Ping sneered. I know how to use the injuring myself trick too. I'll believe whatever you say. What an idiotic decision. Humans have really suffered losses this time. I'm not done with Ji Yao. Ji Yao actually let these people come to the Outland. If they were not careful, a great war would break out. That would be huge trouble. Also, he was working on a big plan now. In the end, it was about to be implemented, but Ji Yao might also enter the 3rd stage of the test at that time. Mother asterisk her, he was making trouble for himself. He could not split himself up. How could he go and kill people? Also, if it was a trap, then it would be even more troublesome. With so many powerhouses gathering, his plan might have a huge loophole. If he started a war in the Outland and delayed for a moment, it might give these people the opportunity to attack Earth and destroy it. Originally, there were not so many powerhouses in the Outland. Humans still had a chance to resist. Damn it, Fang Ping cursed. They did not come earlier or later. They came at this time. They really knew how to find trouble for him. After pondering for a moment, Fang Ping said in a low voice, but if it's true, it's not like there's no chance. Old Manly looked at him, focusing. Fang Ping, if we start a war on multiple fronts, you're the only one with paragons on the human side. It's very easy for big problems to arise. Or we can delay the other plans first. Fang Ping raised his hand slightly and said in a low voice, Instructor, do you think there's a way to make them fight each other? Old Manly said hesitantly. The Destiny Royal Court is considered one side. The Outland, they might not dare to go there. The Outland is obviously guarded by the catacombs. With the cowardly style of those people in the catacombs, would they dare to look for trouble? What if the people in the Outland kill their people first? You said you're in disguise. Old Man Lee shook his head. It's very easy for people to guess it's you. The Outland doesn't have any conflict with them. If there's a conflict for no reason, anyone with a little bit of intelligence will think more. That's true. Also, I don't want to cause too much trouble here in the Outland. Fang Ping thought for a while and said slowly, the Outland and the Destiny Royal Court will all be a force in this plan. The Outland is also considered a force, Wangwu Mountain, and these forces are considered a force. We are considered a force. This way, the 5 forces will participate. As Fong Ping said that, he squatted down and wrote and drew on the ground, marking out the 5 forces. In addition, the evil sect, the extraterritorial immortal island, Imperial Sea Mountain, Sky Plant's Royal Court, Beyond Sky. Among these 5 forces, Beyond Sky and the extraterritorial immortal island are too busy with their own affairs right now. They might not participate. The other 3 forces might participate. We can't ignore them. Fong Ping joined the 3 forces again. This time, the 8 forces were gathered. 8 camps. Our goal is the Outland, Wangwu Mountain, and these people's target is the Outland. The remaining ones are Still Destiny, Sky Plants, Imperial Sea Mountain, and the Evil Sect. Fong Ping tapped the floor tiles lightly and said with a smile, "Old Man Li, do you think there's hope to make these 4 sides fight it out?" "How do we fight it out?" Old Man Li said with a headache. "It's about the same if they join forces to fight us. Dream on." "Not necessarily." Fong Ping's eyes flickered. "I'm at Imperial Sea Mountain. Actually, there's still some hope. Devil Swordsman can be said to be the most powerful demon chieftain in Imperial Sea Mountain's territory now. It's Unquestionable Sword's demon servant. Unquestionable Sword has already appeared." Fong Ping smiled and said, "No worries. It's just a corporeal puppet. Old Man Li, you are Unquestionable Sword." Old Man Li was dazed. "You have the sky-crushing sword. With the sky-crushing sword in hand, you're Unquestionable Sword. Tell Devil Swordsman that the previous one was just a corporeal body that you controlled. Not only do you have the sky-crushing sword, but you're also a swordsmanship powerhouse. This fits Unquestionable Sword's persona. As for me, I'm actually groomed by you. Tell him that you have a big plan to unify the 3 realms. Now, the human realm has already fallen into your hands." Old Man Li continued to be dazed. Beside him, Phoenix Sparrow's eyes were also dull. He did not know if he had heard wrongly. "You want to unify the land now. You need it to lend you a helping hand. You're a 9th refinement golden body. Everyone knows the name Longevity Swordsman. You're also this era's most dazzling genius. Devil Swordsman's IQ is average. As long as you fool it well, there won't be a problem." Old Man Li could not help but say, "Will this work? I know almost nothing about Unquestionable Sword. It's okay. I'll teach you how to say it later." Fong Ping smiled. "Do as I say. There won't be a big problem. Fool Devil Swordsman, and let it lead the Imperial Sea Mountain demons into battle. I want to muddy the waters. Let people not know what I want to do, where I will appear, whether I will be in the catacombs or not." As Fong Ping said that, he continued, "Devil Swordsman's target is Destiny Royal Court. Ji Yao wants me to make a move. This woman's IQ is 0. If I really kill so many rank 9, I guarantee that humans will become the target of public criticism very soon. If I dare to kill 100 rank 9s today, I'll dare to kill 100 paragons tomorrow. Humans will become everyone's public enemy immediately. Ji Yao only thinks about her own interests. Does she really think that I'll make a move easily and leave a big problem for myself and humans?" On the other hand, Imperial Sea Mountain's side is very interesting. The other party is independent and also belongs to Thousand Demon Royal Court. It's fine if they gain an advantage. If they suffer a loss, Thousand Demon Royal Court will send demons to help them in battle. This has always been their style. There are many rank 9 demons in Imperial Sea Mountain. As long as Devil Swordsman has some ability, subduing some rank 9s won't be a big problem. Let it drag Destiny and Thousand Demon Royal Court into this mess. It's very suitable. Fang Ping got up and paced for a while. He continued, the remaining ones are the evil sect and Heavenly Plant's royal court. Send someone to find Hua Yu. This fellow won't be satisfied. He won't be satisfied that the royal court is controlled by Li Yi. Although King Hua has entered the Sky Cemetery, the King Hua territory is not weak. Even Furchuan won't dare to touch the King Hua territory easily now. Old man, Li's head grew bigger. It can't be that simple. Furchuan and Tianyu are here. Huayu is just a rank. Would he dare to create chaos at this time? He would dare, but the prerequisite is sufficient safety and sufficient benefits. Fang Ping laughed. I've already thought about it. There's a fellow we can actually work together. Who? King Huai. Old Manly was stunned. Phoenix Sparrow was stunned too. Who? King Huai. Fang Ping laughed. This fellow is the real smart one. Benefits are the most important. Do you think he really wants to be a slave to 3 people? He just doesn't have the ability. Right now, everyone in Heavenly Plant's royal court wants to beat him up. Furchuan and Tian, you see him as a thorn in their side. Tell me if I tell him to work together to eradicate Furchuan and Tianyu and let him work with Huayu to take over Heavenly Plant's royal court. Will he be interested? Old man, Li said solemnly, be careful that you don't get yourself into trouble. He's not that simple. If he was that simple, he would have died a long time ago. He wouldn't be free and unfettered until now. I know. That's why I don't plan to work with him. However, I can help him and Huayu. These 2 fellows, one lacks the support of a core force, the other lacks the cooperation of top-notch combat strength. If they work together, they can have a place in Heavenly Plant's royal court. They understand this point too. That's why I hope to see Heavenly Plant's royal court have internal problems so that they can't participate in this chaotic fight. Old Manly frowned again. This matter could easily backfire. Fang Ping did not care about this. He said again, actually, the most alarming thing should be the evil sects. Fang Ping opened his mouth and said, evil sects hide in the dark. The enemies in the dark are the most dangerous. I don't believe that the powerful evil sects will not make a move at this time. The commotion on Earth previously is proof. They also hope to stir up some trouble. We can't deal with the evil sects alone. Even if we win, we will suffer heavy losses if we fight the evil sects alone. Fang Ping flicked his fingers lightly. The evil sects will definitely not hide in their headquarters obediently. This time, the evil sects might appear. The evil sects are powerful. Everyone has seen the ranking before. To deal with the evil sects, everyone has to work together. However, everyone is afraid of death. Who will be the first to stand out? What do you want? Old man, Li's head hurt. Fang Ping was ambitious and greedy. Did he want everyone to deal with the evil sects? Fang Ping laughed. Everyone hopes to become stronger. Everyone is actually fighting for it. I am, and so are they. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many powerhouses entering the Heavenly Cemetery. Now, among the remaining powerhouses in the 3 realms, no one hopes to become stronger. It's still the same as before. Heavenly Dog is in the evil sect. If one obtains Heavenly Dog's remains, there is hope to inherit everything from Heavenly Dog. That is an existence that surpasses the Heavenly King rank. Do you think everyone will be tempted? Although the evil sects are strong, if everyone joins forces now, taking them down will not be a problem. As Fang Ping said that, he suddenly touched his chin. As expected, the more the situation is analyzed, the more thorough it becomes. Tell me if I reveal to some people in advance that I want to annihilate the 3 major realms. What do you think? You're crazy. No, I will tell them that my goal is to lure the evil sects out. I want to kill the evil sect powerhouses, weaken their strength find their headquarters, and seize Heavenly Dog's remains. Fong Ping's eyes flickered. I want to change my goal. At least in the eyes of others, I'm doing it for the evil sects, not the three major realms. The three major realms are just a bonus. Others aside, the crazy Taoist from the Forbidden Sea did not enter the Heavenly Cemetery last time. Now that he knows about Heavenly Dog, I don't believe he won't be tempted, including the powerhouses in places like Weiyu Mountain and Wanwu Mountain. Will they not be tempted? Right now, they won't be tempted by the imperishable substance, nor will they act rashly. But if they become heavenly kings and above, this is the best opportunity. Otherwise, when the others come out of the heavenly cemetery, those powerhouses today will not have any chance. If they don't fight now, they will have to wait for death in the future. I don't believe that these powerhouses are really muddle-headed at this time. Previously, they did not go to the heavenly cemetery because they were afraid and felt that there was no hope. But now, to be honest, other than the three emperor ranks, the difference in strength will not be too big. If one is not a match, two can also occupy a place if they join forces. If 5 powerhouses join forces, even an emperor rank may not win. Therefore, the current combat strength of the powerhouses is the peak, the overlord of the 3 realms. Everyone has hope. If they did not go, there was no hope. There were a lot of heavenly kings. Many people felt that if they went, they would die, and there was nothing else. But now it was hard to say. How can you make them believe that Heavenly Dog's corpse is in the evil sect and that they can inherit everything from Heavenly Dog? Fong Ping, the powerhouses are not stupid. Heavenly Dog's corpse is really in the evil sect. Fong Ping laughed. This was told to me by a Lord God before he died. I don't think it's fake. The difficult part is how to make everyone believe. Fong Ping was a little troubled. It was not easy to make people believe him, especially those powerhouses who believed him. Actually, I don't need everyone to believe me. I won't tell everyone either. As long as 3 to 5 people know and 3 to 5 people believe me, then the others will act upon hearing the news. That's how it is. As Fong Ping said that, he muttered, maybe I can also let the evil sect people say it themselves. Then everyone will believe me. I think what Faceless said is true. Heavenly Dog's corpse is really in the evil sect. If the evil sect powerhouses really appear, maybe we can make use of them. Old Man Lee understood a little. He pondered and said, you want to contact some powerhouses secretly and tell them some things so that they can witness everything in secret? Fong Ping, you're playing with fire. He also did not think that Fong Ping needed to take such a risk. Actually, you can wait. Why are you in such a hurry? Fong Ping shook his head. You're wrong. The powerhouses need someone to ignite the fire. If no one ignites the fire, it will be lukewarm. The situation between the powerhouses will continue like this. This is actually disadvantageous to us. They are not in a hurry, but I am. They are stronger than humans. They can wait for the cemetery to open. We can't, you know that. Therefore, we have to make the powerhouses circle chaotic. Only when it's chaotic will we have a chance. Previously, I set up the all heavens and myriad realms ranking to make the evil sect a target for everyone. Unfortunately, it's not enough because there are only threats and no benefits. When there are enough threats and temptations, only then will everyone be tempted. Looking at Fong Ping's eloquence, Old Man Lee was filled with emotion. This fellow was becoming more and more like Zhang Tao. Of course, he was still lacking a lot. He was not as astute as Zhang Tao, not as strong as Zhang Tao, and not as experienced as him. However, Fong Ping was indeed growing rapidly. Old Man Lee sighed in his heart and said, I'll only say 3 points. First, If the evil sect doesn't appear, everything you're doing now will only add to your troubles. Second, if the evil sect appears, the others won't trust you and will take the opportunity to join forces with the evil sect. Fong Ping, you might be surrounded and killed. Have you considered this? Third, how can you be sure that the people you contact are not spies of the evil sect? Fong Ping nodded again. Makes sense. Then the plan has to change. Don't inform them. Don't inform them in advance. I have some ideas. Sky screen. I need some helpers to play the sky screen at the crucial moment at some of the pinnacles. When the evil sect martial artists appear, I'll set up the sky screen. When the time comes, I'll cause a commotion, and the pinnacles will know. If the evil sect powerhouses reveal that Tengu's remains are in the evil sect, then these people will definitely attack. What if it's not exposed? You'll still be in big trouble. Then I can only run. Moreover, I'll open the sky screen when I'm confident. As long as the Tengu incident is true, the probability of self-destruction won't be too low. Old Manly thought about it. This did not conflict much with his previous plan. It was just that he had added some insurance measures. If that was the case, it was not considered a loss. Up to you, but who will go to those pinnacles and wait for the sky screen to be played? It's extremely dangerous. I'm afraid most people won't be able to get close. Fong Ping's eyes flickered. There's still a candidate. It might not be a human powerhouse. For example, a certain coward king. Tell him to cooperate. Otherwise, if I go and cause trouble for him, do you think he'll do it? He'll just ask some subordinates to do it. It's not like he'll do it himself. He'll just do some chores. It's nothing. No matter how cowardly the coward king is, his subordinates won't dare to disobey his orders. Moreover, he's a real king with status in the catacombs. His people are also harmless. Even if they appear in front of someone's house, they might not attract hostility. Li Changsheng was speechless. Feng Ke was confused. King Pine? Wasn't King Pine dead? Also, he came to inform Fong Ping to help Ji Yao. But Fong Ping did not seem to have that intention. No, he was prepared to let the Mount Royal Sea Monster clan help. But was this reliable? Feng Ke realized that he understood Fong Ping less and less. In the past, he thought he knew a little about Fong Ping's personality. Now, he really did not understand. Ji Yao might have also misjudged the situation. Ji Yao thought that Fong Ping would be wild with joy if she betrayed her teammates. But now, it sounded like Fong Ping was not happy at all. Fong Ping did not care about it. He wanted to quickly arrange everything. The Destiny Royal Court's matter might not be a bad thing. Of course, it might not be a good thing either. However, the Destiny Royal Court's unforeseen event made Fong Ping feel that this might be the trigger for him to mess up the three realms. On this day, Fong Ping quickly made some arrangements. He arranged for Old Man Li to go to Mount Royal Sea. This time, Fong Ping arranged for Li Wuji to be the messenger for the King of Peaceful Mountain, including the crazy Taoist from overseas. This time, the Water Clan would put in the effort. As for the Sky Plant's royal court, Fong Ping secretly asked someone to contact Hua Yu. He had a way to contact Hua Yu. As for King Huai, Fong Ping did not care. He only asked Hua Yu to pass on his message. As for whether it would work, it was up to them. As for the Phoenix Sparrow and the Phoenix Spirit, the Phoenix Sparrow was only left with a small half of its head. Fong Ping's mentality sealed it and forced it into the Phoenix Spirit's stomach. Then he sent someone to escort the Phoenix Spirit back to Earth. As for the demon powerhouses who were hiding in the dark and monitoring, it would be strange if they could find out. They could see the Phoenix Spirit being escorted away, but they definitely could not sense the Phoenix Sparrow's existence. The phoenix sparrow's severed limbs were divided among the Donglin city powerhouses on the same day. The aroma of meat spread throughout Donglin City. Therefore, Kong Yu, who was secretly observing, felt an incomparably miserable scene. The phoenix sparrow had really been stewed by a martial artist who had been resurrected. Not only that, on this day, another piece of news spread in the catacombs. Fong Ping had disappeared. It was said, just said, that he had snuck into the restricted area. It might be the same as before. He had gone to one of the 4 large dynasties' imperial city. As for where he had gone, it was unknown. This time, whether the 4 large dynasties believed it or not, they would be in chaos for a while. This was also Fong Ping's little strategy. No matter what, it was good to delay the 4 large dynasties' pace. That was why they were so suspicious, and that was why they were hesitant. Actually, he did not want the 4 large dynasties to get involved at this time. However, if he could not delay them, then it would not matter if they got involved. Time passed quickly. March 22nd passed in the blink of an eye. March 23rd, the day that Fong Ping and the major forces had agreed on. The powerhouses gathered, preparing to open up a new battlefield in the Outland. P.S. This won't do. Old Eagle's writing is too laggy. I have to stop for a while. It's already 2 chapters tonight. Tomorrow, depending on the situation, I might ask for a day off to fix it. Of course, after I fix it tonight, I won't ask for a day off tomorrow. M. Chapter 1044. Heaven Division. Everyone gathered. Jiang Kuei and the others had been waiting for a while. However, Fong Ping was still looking at the map. It seemed like he hadn't confirmed his target yet. There were rumors about Fong Ping's disappearance in the outside world, but that was only the outside world. Jiang Kuei and the others had seen Fong Ping the moment they arrived, so naturally the rumors were false. They also thought that Fong Ping would not leave Earth. If the current Fong Ping left hastily, Earth would be in great danger. After waiting for a while, Jiang Kuei couldn't help but ask, Minister Fong, you told us 10 days ago that you were going to open up the Outer Realm battlefield. Don't tell me you still haven't confirmed the target? Fong Ping was too unreliable. Fong Ping tilted his head and smiled. I'm sure, but I'm afraid there might be some trouble. Having said that, Fong Ping pointed at the map and laughed. 7 Southern Territory Magic City, 8 Southern Territory Donglin, 9 Southern Territory Nanjiang, 10 Southern Territory Beihu, 11 Southern Territory Tiannan. Demonic City has been pacified, Tiannan has been pacified, and a large number of experts from the outer regions of Nanjiang have died. If we take down the 2 catacombs in Donglin and Beihu, the 5 major territories in the Southern Territory will become one. Fong Ping's eyes lit up. He said quickly, that's why my targets are Donglin and Beihu, but I am a little hesitant now. Minister Fong, please speak clearly, Jianya said with a frown. It shouldn't be a problem for us to take down 2 outer realms. I know. Fong Ping took a deep breath and said, Donglin of 8 Southern Territories is adjacent to Destiny Royal Court, while Beihu of 10 Southern Territories is adjacent to Sky Plant's Royal Court. I'm worried that once we attack these 2 great catacombs, the powerhouses of the 2 great royal courts will come to our aid. Everyone was speechless. Which catacombs was not adjacent to the Inner Territory Royal Court? Then you might as well not organize such a battle. Now, he was hesitating. Fong Ping flicked his fingers lightly, smiling. I heard that there has been a lot of activity in the catacombs recently. I'm worried that something might go wrong. Fong Ping continued, This time I can't go. I have to keep watch on Earth. When that time comes, it will be very dangerous for all of you if you encounter the apex. Everyone, if I really choose these 2 catacombs, the apex of each of your clans still have to look after it. Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't be able to save you in time." No one was surprised that Fong Ping would not go. As for desperate adepts making a move, it wasn't as if the various clans didn't have desperate adepts. Jiang Yen smiled faintly and said, "Minister Fong, cooperation is cooperation, but I'll say the ugly words first. If the two majestic courts really send impasse realm experts, even if we have impasse realm experts, it's more likely that our people will have to retreat. When that time comes, Minister Fong, don't blame us for deserting. We don't want what happened to Feng Ling to happen to us either. They were only cooperating, not selling their bodies. The phoenix spirit of the demon race was captured and imprisoned on the Heavenly Island. It was said that she was in a miserable state. Jiang Kuei did not want Fong Ping to do the same thing to them later. If they could win the fight, they would fight. If they could kill, they would kill. If they couldn't, their own sex apex experts would step forward to negotiate peace, and both sides would retreat. At worst, they would just wrangle a little. This was the norm for the major powers. Fong Ping chuckled. "Of course not. I won't watch everyone go to their deaths. Of course, you won't listen to me and die. Your mission is very simple. Kill the powerhouses in the catacombs. Our mission is also very simple. Advance the front line." Fong Ping looked at Li Daong and said, "The military department's mission is to move the front line forward. Right now, most of our cities are beside the passageway. Once the cities are breached, the other party can enter the passageway quickly and attack Earth. And my goal is to push the front line forward at least 500 li. This way, even if the front line collapses, we still have time to react." Fong Ping looked at everyone. Everyone's goals are not conflicting. You guys kill the high ranks. You don't have to worry about the rest. We're responsible for cleaning the battlefield and pushing the front line forward. Of course, there will also be high ranks who will act with you. Also, don't worry about being killed. If our people and your people kill the catacombs powerhouses together, both sides will count one head. Fong Ping chuckled. This way, we can avoid disputes because of snatching heads. Of course, I might have to spend an extra portion of imperishable substance. But this is not a problem. I still hope that everyone can work together to kill the enemy and not be on guard against each other and have conflicts. Jiang Kuei did not say anything. Ling Xiao giggled. "In that case, if your people kill the other party's powerhouses and we go to finish them off, it counts as a head too?" Yes. Fong Ping was very generous. He laughed. "Of course it counts. If you have the ability, you can convince the human powerhouses to finish you off, or you can just cooperate with each other and kill one as two. That's not considered cheating. This price, Fong Ping, will bear. Minister Fong is very generous." Su Bing and the others praised. It was generous enough. In that case, they could totally cooperate with the humans. No matter which side killed someone, they could use one as two. Xuanda Grotto Heavens, Xian Hua thought for a while. "In that case, there are two goals this time. Beihu and Donglin?" "That's right," Xianhua said again, "but between Nanjiang and Beihu, there's still the void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven. If you want to unite the 5 territories, I'm afraid it's not going to be easy." Between the 5 territories, there were 2 bounded territories. However, Purple Cap Mountain was destroyed, and Gong Yuzi had entered the Heavenly Cemetery. Now, only the void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven, was an obstacle. Fong Ping said lightly, "There's no hurry. The void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven, doesn't dare to come out now. When there's time later, I'll go talk to them and open a path between the bounded territories. This way, the 5 territories can be connected." The corner of Xian Hua's mouth twitched. That was easy to say. Open a path. Was this not splitting the other party's Grotto Heaven into 2? It would be strange if the other party agreed. Fong Ping did not say anything. Very quickly, he said seriously, Commander Li Daong, you and the people from Wangwu Mountain, Weiyu Mountain, and Xuanda Grotto Heaven will go to the Donglin catacombs together. You will lead the military department powerhouses and the 4 houses of guardians to join the battle. In addition, the powerhouses from the 6 Holy Lands, Star City, and Pantheon will also go to the Donglin catacombs. Minister Wu Quishan, you will lead the powerhouses from the Department of Education, as well as the martial artists from the other 4 Holy Lands and countries. Cooperate with the 6 Grandmasters and the overseas Immortal Island powerhouses to go to the Behu catacombs. The mission this time is very simple. Just like what I said, clean up their powerhouses, push forward the battlefront, and unite the 5 territories. Fong Ping looked at the martial artists from the various Holy Lands and said with a smile, settle some of the chaos in Sino Nation first. Only then can I extricate myself. Otherwise, I can't extricate myself now, and it'll be difficult for me to support the countries. So, everyone, don't blame me for prioritizing Sino Nation first. As soon as he said that, from the Pantheon side, Fong Ping's old acquaintance, Ross, said, since Sino Nation has the upper hand in the Southern Territory, it's inevitable that they will expand their advantage. We've already considered this before we came. Minister Fong, you don't have to worry that we'll be dissatisfied. That's good. Thank you, everyone, for your understanding. Fong Ping gave them a fist salute and said with a smile, then it's better to do it sooner rather than later. Everyone, the situation on Earth is complicated now. There are too many people and too many mouths. Just go directly. I'll keep an eye on all sides to prevent the news from spreading to the catacombs too quickly. Ling Xiao glanced at him, thought for a while, and said, if you're not going, are the others from the Heaven Division not going too? Fong Ping smiled and said, everyone has a mission. The Heaven Division is in charge of guarding Magic City and keeping an eye on the safety of the ground. They'll be ready to assist the other catacombs at any time. Right now, the evil sects haven't been completely wiped out yet. They have to prevent any accidents from happening. At this time, Boundless Force's Bullface struggled and said, Lord King, if that's the case, Old Bull has to go to the Behu catacombs. Yes, Boundless Force was very depressed. The others did not understand, but he knew it. Old Bull was going to Behu not to kill people, but to keep an eye on the Void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven's movements. Who knew? He might even have to fight with the Void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven's paragon. Wu Quishan. Wu Quishan's mission was not to advance the front line, but to bring people to assist him. Boundless Force felt helpless. It was very dangerous, okay? Compared to the Paragon, that cat and Fong Ping were even more dangerous. Sighing in his heart, Boundless Force still said, all right then, Lord King, after this, Old Bull will return to Waterforce Island. The crisis over there has not been resolved yet. Fong Ping smiled and said, that's what I should do. After conquering these 2 outer regions, Sino Nation's troubles will be much smaller. I'll also contact Commander Li Jun to return. When the time comes, Commander Li, or I can take action and help you solve the crisis. Thank you, Lord King. Fong Ping waved his hand, looking indifferent. Everyone, let's get moving. Brother Jiang, Ling Xiao, all of you, please try your best to avoid getting involved in the middle and low-ranked battlefields. Move the front line as far as possible. Our people will advance from the rear. The few of them had no objections. Their goal was to kill those powerhouses. As for the battle between the weak, they had no intention of doing so. Very soon, Li Daong led the military department powerhouses, including the powerhouses from Polaris City, and hurried toward Donglin. They left using the flight step. On the ground, hundreds of military vehicles that were ready to go also started moving quickly. These people did not need to go too quickly. After Li Daong and the rest went in and lured the high-ranked away, it was time for them to enter. When they arrived and reorganized, the time was just right. After Li Daong left, Wu Quishan did not delay either. Beihu was still quite far from Magic City. He quickly made arrangements to lead the army and powerhouses to Beihu. At this time, Zhong Qinghuan, who was not assigned a mission, frowned slightly and asked, "Minister Fang, what about our mission?" Wu Quishan led the education department powerhouses to Beihu, while Li Daong led the military department powerhouses to Donglin. The 4 houses of guardians had missions. Tian said that they had to watch over Earth. What about the Department of Investigation? Fang Ping glanced at her and smiled. Your mission? Your mission is naturally to be responsible for the safety of the ground. You and the Department of Investigation cooperate with Bei Gongyan, Tian Mu, and the rest and prepare for assistance. The catacombs are not dead people. War may break out in other areas. The evil sects may intervene too. With Minister Fang watching over the ground, would they dare to come and make trouble? Zhong Qinghuan felt that it was somewhat unnecessary. This would restrict their combat strength too much. Among the 4 departments, 2 were watching over Sino Nation. It would be better to liberate their combat strength and let the Heavenly Department or the Department of Investigation join the battle. This way, with the help of those forces, they might be able to pacify the 2 territories very quickly. Fang Ping heard her and smiled. After all, there are 107 outland passageways. I have to patrol the world to prevent some passageways from being breached by the catacombs powerhouses. How can I keep watching over Sino Nation? Zhong Qinghuan thought about it and agreed. If a battle broke out in other catacombs, the probability of losing the other party was very high. If Fang Ping was here, at least he could let people evacuate. If he was on Earth, the catacombs powerhouses would probably not dare to attack easily. Seeing that she had no objections, Fang Ping waved his hand and said, "Minister Zhong, go carry out your mission. Be careful. Although I'm on Earth, I still have to be careful." "Yes," Zhong Qinghuan said no more and quickly left with her people. As soon as she left, Old Man Li telepathically said, "Fang Ping, if you leave and the catacombs really breached Earth, what should we do?" With Fang Ping around, it could still be pacified. If he was not around, once it was breached, there would be big trouble. Now, even Old Man Li felt that Fang Ping's pressure was somewhat beyond imagination. He had to guard against a lot of unforeseen events alone. Compared to Old Zhang and the rest, Old Zhang and the rest at least had many peerless powerhouses to assist them back then. Under normal circumstances, the 6 sacred lands would have one peerless powerhouse guarding over the ground, each managing a portion. But now, Fang Ping had mobilized the powerhouses of the 6 sacred lands. If the passageways were breached and caused casualties, Fang Ping's prestige would plummet. The current him could mobilize the 6 sacred lands. If something happened, the 6 sacred lands and the countries might not listen to any of Fang Ping's orders anymore. Fang Ping did not say much. He telepathically said, "Bring Tai Tu, Old Yao, Old Wang, and a few others to Huitong Mountain. Keep a low profile and pretend to be patrolling the catacombs." Although Old Man Li wanted to say a few more words after hearing Fang Ping's words, he could only shut up. He gave Li Hansong and the rest a look and said, "Let's go. We'll patrol the catacombs everywhere to prevent chaos." Li Hansong and the rest quickly followed. Very soon, in the Heavenly Department's concourse, only Fang Ping and a few staff members were left. At the same time, 107 images lit up on the concourse's screen. These were surveillance images of the passageways in Foreign Territory 107. On every screen, there were people. When they saw Fang Ping's figure, whether it was the Sino people or people from other countries, they were all full of confidence and greeted loudly. Fong Ping was overseeing Earth. If there were any movements in Foreign Territory 107, he would receive the news immediately and rush over in time. Modern technology was somewhat useful at this moment. At least Fong Ping did not have to look at foreign territories one by one and ask them one by one. If there were any abnormalities, he would be able to detect it immediately. Fong Ping did not say anything. He nodded slightly and stood in the concourse. After a while, he said, "If there are any abnormalities in any place, report immediately. Today, I will be waiting here all the way, supporting all parties at any time. If you encounter an attack from the catacombs, retreat quickly if you are no match for them. I'd like to see if there are any catacombs martial artists who dare to kill their way out of the passageway." These words were said in a powerful and resonant voice. On the screen, the martial artists from various countries were extremely excited. With Fong Ping around, even if they were separated by a screen, everyone felt much more at ease. Nowadays, many of the paragons from various worlds had left. There were not many left. Fong Ping still had the battle record of killing a paragon rank 5. In addition, the Netherworld King was also in the dark. They did not think that anyone would dare to kill their way out at this time. At most, they would just give up on the passageway. Sooner or later, they would still be able to kill their way back. Looking at everyone's confident faces on the screen, Fong Ping smiled, but his eyes revealed a hint of helplessness. He could not split himself. There were many things that he could not do. At this moment, he had no choice but to maintain his presence in front of everyone to give them confidence. Otherwise, if he really disappeared, he might cause a huge impact. Although that was what he said, Fong Ping was already prepared to leave. At this moment, Fong Ping quickly transmitted his voice to the outside. "Big Cat, I'll leave a clone here, but the clone can't last for too long. Moreover, the clone I'll leave behind is an imperishable substance clone without any intelligence. If there are any abnormal situations, immediately use my name, disguise yourself as my voice, and give me a reply. As for you, you have to inform me of the changes on Earth in time. I'll rush back as soon as possible." Fong Ping transmitted his voice to Big Cat. This was also his only way at the moment. He had to go to the catacombs. If he kept guarding Earth, then he could not do many things. Moreover, if he did not leave Earth, he could only be trampled on. He could not break the current stalemate. As for continuing to wait, waiting for himself to become stronger, Fong Ping was still worried about an important problem. Li Jun. His lies might be exposed. It had been almost a month since he left the catacombs. Li Jun had not shown up for a long time. This was not in line with Li Jun's character. Even if Li Jun's injuries were not light, a month was more or less enough. Last time, Big Cat said that he discovered an emperor-level powerhouse who was suspected to be from an evil sect. The other party was probably only worried about Li Jun now. If Li Jun did not show up, the other party might see through him. Actually, someone is already testing me. Fong Ping pondered in his heart. Yes, it was Ji Yao. Perhaps it was not Ji Yao's subjective thoughts, but this woman, Ji Yao, was reckless. Li Jun did not show up even when Universe Bao and the others were threatening Earth. What did that mean? If Li Jun was not outside the heavenly cemetery, or if his injuries were so serious that he could not recover for a month, then it would cause a series of chain reactions. Therefore, I have to mess up the situation. Fong Ping thought to himself. In his mind, Big Cat's voice rang. "Liar, are you going to lie again?" Fong Ping started to lie again by making a fake avatar here. Everyone in the 107 outer domains would know that he was here. As for Fong Ping, who came to verify whether it was the real one, they probably did not expect Fong Ping to dare to leave at this time. if Fong Ping's whereabouts were really exposed, and he was in the catacombs, then something big would probably happen in the catacombs. Those powerhouses would not have the energy to care about the humans. This is not a lie. This is saving people. Big Cat, you don't understand. This is called the empty city stratagem. You don't have to do anything, just help me maintain the existence of the avatar. At the crucial moment, pretend to be me, and talk will do. Pretend to be you, and talk. Big Cat struggled for a moment. It's very tiring. How long do you need to walk? Very soon. Fong Ping calculated. At most a day. If I'm fast, maybe I'll be back in 10 hours. All right. Big Cat agreed, feeling a little wronged. It was time to work again. Fong Ping comforted it, feeling helpless. There was no other way. At this moment, he could only let Big Cat keep an eye on him. Unbeknownst to the few staff members, Fong Ping's mentality fluctuated. The next moment, Fong Ping acted as if there was no one else around. He left an avatar on the spot, like a real person standing there with his eyes closed. As for Fong Ping himself, he quickly disappeared from the Sky Division. Not long after he disappeared, in the concourse, Fong Ping's avatar suddenly opened its eyes and said in a calm voice that the headquarters remembered something. Big Cat, the human hero, likes to eat all kinds of cat food. Previously, only Sino Nation has been supplying it. Now that everyone is here from various countries on Earth, go buy some cat food and snacks of different flavors and have someone send them to Magic City. Hurry! The faster the better. In the concourse, the few Sky Division staff members, including the 107 martial artists on the screen, were all stunned. At a time like this, he wants us to buy cat food and snacks? Minister Fong always did whatever he wanted. Minister Fong, Fong Ping said seriously, this is a big deal. The headquarters needs it. Big Cat is very important. The survival of mankind is related to it. We must satisfy its needs. Everyone was speechless. Didn't Big Cat go to the Sky Cemetery now? Was there a need to be so anxious? Still, this was not a big deal. Everyone said, Minister Fong, we'll arrange for it to be sent to Magic City by air immediately. More. Fong Ping said seriously again, more. 10,000 tons is not too little. Go and prepare it as soon as possible. Remember, I want all kinds of flavors, all kinds of specialties, all kinds of delicious food. Fong Ping made a lot of requests. Everyone did not know whether to laugh or cry, but they did not refute. Whatever you say, it was just snacks. It was not a big deal for Fong Ping, a person who stood at the peak of the human world, to want it. At this moment, Fong Ping was also satisfied. The liar had left. He was the one who wanted him to disguise himself and talk to him. I've strictly followed the liar's instructions. As for the cat food, that was what the liar owed me. Collecting some interest now is not a big deal. After swindling the cat food, Big Cat was still sunbathing on the rooftop of the building outside. He thought for a while. What else did he need? This was a rare opportunity. If he asked for more this time, he could save it for many years. Therefore, the next scene made everyone not know whether to laugh or cry, but they also felt relieved. Minister Fong was not in a hurry at all. He was not worried at all. He even had the time to do these things. From the looks of it, there was no need to worry too much. For this cat, Brother Cat from the headquarters specially makes some big blankets, the kind that is very, very big. I want it soft and thick. I want 100 beds. Send them over quickly. Also, I want all kinds of drinks too. If it's wine, give me some too. Right, I want all kinds of dried fish too. It's best if there's live fish. Fresh ones are even better. In the hall, Fong Ping's avatar was almost drooling. This scene made everyone speechless. Did he want to eat it, Or did Big Cat want to eat it? The cat was not on Earth. Could it be that Minister Fong wanted to eat it himself? They had never heard that Minister Fong had this hobby. Sigh. The hobbies of powerhouses were really hard to understand. The martial artists from various countries lamented in their hearts, but they did not stop and quickly made arrangements. These things did not need them to show up. A phone call could be done quickly. It was just some mundane things. If it was cultivation resources, everyone would be troubled. However, some food, drinks, clothes, and other things were really not a problem. In the distance, Big Cat was happy like crazy. The fat on his fat face was trembling. How awesome! Whatever he wanted, he had it. Before this, he was still struggling for such a long time. He did not want to fall asleep while watching, but now he did not feel sleepy at all. Big Cat decided that this time he would get his hands on the next 10,000 years' worth of supplies. 10 hours. 10 hours might not be enough. The swindler had better come back later. 24 hours was more or less the same. Don't come back so early, or else I won't be able to gather the 10,000 years' worth of supplies. The cat was delighted. Soon, it began to talk about food, drinks, toys, and so on. Later, when Big Cat talked about nuclear bombs, the martial artists' faces changed. What did he want that for? Seeing this, Big Cat quickly changed his words. Didn't he want to keep some good stuff? During the Three Realms era, divine weapons were very powerful. He had kept a lot of them. Now, he heard that the human world's nuclear bombs were also very powerful. Maybe 10,000 years later, he could take them out and use them as divine weapons. Big Cat did not think of this in the past, so he did not have any inventory. Otherwise, it would be good to keep more fruits and vegetables. They were all treasures now. Big Cat was very patient and kept on talking. It was also rare for the others to interact with Fong Ping. Whatever Fong Ping said, they just listened. Unfortunately, Minister Fong did not talk about martial arts, which made everyone feel a little regretful. Chapter 1045. South Capitol Catacombs. What Fong Ping did not know was that the cat was pretending to be him to cheat food and drink. It was a classic case of having the right to not let it expire. This was Fong Ping's first visit to the catacombs in South Capitol. This time, Fong Ping did not pretend to be a weak martial artist. Right now, Fong Ping was impersonating the rank 7 CLA, an inspector from the Heavenly Division. Inside the catacombs in South Capitol, Jingnan City, the rank 9 powerhouse guarding the catacombs in South Capitol was a rank 9 that Fong Ping was relatively unfamiliar with. His surname was Sunday. On the city wall, Fong Ping and Grandmaster Sun Xiang gazed into the distance. Sun Xiang sighed. Patrolman Xia. Old Chen went in after breaking through to rank 9. There hasn't been much activity these few days. I've tried to persuade Old Chen, but there are some things that can't be resolved just by persuasion. Old Chen said that there were still a lot of rank 9s in Sino Nation. With me holding the fort here, he would be at ease. If he's lucky, he might be able to advance further. There's no way to persuade him otherwise. Fong Ping said in a low voice, entering the catacombs rashly, and he's still a rank 9. Forget it. Vice Chancellor Chen isn't stationed in the military department, so there's no need to be too harsh. However, if anything happens, it'll be a huge loss to Sino Nation. The rank 9 in charge could not easily leave the passageway they were guarding. Even if they were to leave, they would have to report it and wait for someone to take their place. Chun Yaoding was not an overseeing expert. Unless there was an order from his superiors, it was not a big deal for him to enter. Fong Ping used the excuse of investigating Chun Yaoding during his patrol this time. A rank 9 who had gone into the catacombs for a few days and had not returned was still highly regarded. Chun Yaoting was still a newly ascended rank, 9. Now that he had not returned for a few days, it was not too surprising that Xie came to investigate the situation. Fang Ping paused, then continued. I heard that Vice-Chancellor Chen went to the catacombs, this time to look for junior sister Chen. Old son, has there been any news from junior sister Chen recently? Sun Xiang sighed. No. At the end of February, that brat Yunxi entered the catacombs. At the time, I was stationed here to oversee the catacombs. That girl has just advanced to rank 7. I told her to just train in the periphery for a while. At that time, Old Chun and Minister Fang went to the king's battleground. I was concerned about the situation there, so I didn't pay much attention to this side. Sun Xiang continued. In the end, when the matter at the king's battlefield was over, that girl disappeared without a trace. Before that, I even sensed her aura. You sensed it before. Fang Ping furrowed his brows slightly. If that's the case, she was within a 100-li radius earlier. Sun Xiang was a rank 9 martial artist. If a powerhouse completely concealed his aura, it would be difficult for him to sense someone stronger than him, unless he was very close. If they were weaker than him, he would still be able to detect them within a few dozen li. If the other party's aura was completely exposed, Sun Xiang could more or less capture some of the rank 7 Qin Yunxi's aura fluctuations within a 100-mile radius. Yes, I sensed it just before the war broke out. That girl didn't go too deep. She knew the danger too. She mainly challenged some rank 7 martial artists. I saw that she went to those small towns, so I didn't bother too much. In the outer region, other than those royal cities, there were also some small cities built by rank 7 powerhouses. Chun Yunqi did not venture deep into the city, nor did she have the guts to challenge the Lord of Royal City. She had gone to a small city to fight with the city lord. Even if the city lord of Monarch City rushed over, she still had a chance to escape. Moreover, when the weather changed, those rank 8 and 9 powerhouses did not have the heart to leave the royal city. At that time, Sun Xiang sensed the fluctuations of the battle. Rank 7 powerhouses fought. Chun Yunqi was an MCMAU powerhouse, and she did not lack divine weapons. The other party's ability was not considered strong among the rank 7 powerhouses, so Sun Xiang was not too worried. In the end, the impact of the weather change was too great. He did not sense it for a period of time, so he did not think too much about it. After the weather change ended, he lost his senses. At first, he thought that the weather change was too great, so Chun Yunqi left there and did not continue to fight. However, there was no trace of Chun Yunqi for more than 20 days. He also knew that something must have gone wrong. If not, Chen Yaoting would not have entered the catacombs to look for her as soon as he broke through. The city where junior sister Chen fought before, it was destroyed. Sun Xiang said in a low voice, I went to investigate after that. The city was destroyed. However, the catacombs is very chaotic now. I only went to investigate after 5 days. I don't know who destroyed it or how. How did the catacombs react? Sun Xiang shook his head and said there wasn't much of a reaction. Minister Zhang and the rest disappeared together with those true kings. The catacombs are also in chaos internally. Some powerhouses from other territories want to go to the inner territory. There are also some who want to conquer other royal cities. Wars will also break out. These few days, even the royal cities are at war. Destroying a small affiliated city did not cause too much of a stir. Fang Ping thought for a moment, nodded, and said, I understand. However, I have to go and see the situation. Is junior sister Chen the president of MCMAU's Martial Arts Society or a member of the Heaven Division? I have to investigate. Sun Xiang was a little worried. I can't leave this place. I have to keep watch in South Capital City. Patrolman Xia, although you have reached rank 7, the situation in the catacombs is indeed very chaotic now. If you encounter trouble here, Sino Nation is opening up battlefields in other catacombs now. I'm afraid it will be very troublesome. It's okay. Fong Ping smiled and said, I'll go and take a look. I won't go too deep. Old son, you can keep watch here. Oh, right. Is there any movement from the Luofu Mountain in the eastern boundary zone? Not really. We are thousands of miles away from the boundary zone. It's hard for us to know what happened there. Understood. Having said that, Fong Ping leaped down from the city. Sun Xiang wanted to say something, but hesitated. In the end, he sighed and said nothing. He felt that the rank 7 CLA was too risky. It was not suitable for him to go deep alone. Although there was no big war breaking out in South Capital City's catacombs, there was no movement from Chun Yunxi and Chun Yaoting until now. Obviously, it was a little chaotic in the dark. CLA was MCMAU's genius and also a member of the Heaven Division. If he went missing here, South Capital City would be in serious trouble. Fong Ping did not care much about these. After leaving South Capital City, Fong Ping hurried toward the city where Chun Yunxi went missing. After a while, Fong Ping arrived. What was originally a small city was now completely deserted. Recently, the catacombs was a little chaotic. The palace's control over the outer boundary of the catacombs had declined. Some people wanted to kill their way back into the inner boundary. Some wanted to unify the outer boundary. Now, there was also a fight in the catacombs. The destruction of a small city under the watch of a rank 7 powerhouse was not considered a big deal. Here, there were still some bloodstains and corpses left behind. In the city, there were still some demons. These demons were devouring those corpses. Sensing Fong Ping's rank 7 aura, these middle and low-ranked monsters fled quickly, not daring to stay. Fong Ping did not care about them. He landed on top of the city wall and sensed carefully. After a while, Fong Ping frowned. They were all dead. Almost all the powerhouses in the city were dead. Someone came to this small city later, probably to clean up the battlefield and collect some useful resources. Both humans and the catacombs might have people coming here. Fong Ping sensed that the small mineral vein underground had traces of being excavated. Everyone in the city died at the same time. A powerhouse's mentality outburst killed them. Although the small city is not big, to kill everyone in the city, they must at least have the ability of a rank 9. A rank 9 outburst could kill middle and low-ranked, but high-ranked ones could not be killed by pressure, unless the absolute suppression was almost the same. Fong Ping searched around again and did not find any high-ranked powerhouses' corpses. He did not know if they were devoured by monsters or picked up by people later. The city lord of this place should have been killed. Otherwise, the other party would not have no news at all when the city was destroyed. Fong Ping searched again. Soon, he leaped into the air and landed on a nearby city wall. The city wall was a little broken. Fong Ping took a look and saw the sword marks on it. Stream swordsmanship. This was by Ruoshi's self-created combat technique. It was a middle-ranked combat technique, not too powerful. However, Chun Yunxi liked this set of combat techniques and felt that it suited her very well. She started learning under by Ruoshi and became Lu Fengru's student halfway through. However, after Bai Ruoshi returned, although no one said anything, Chun Yunxi was considered to be under Bai Ruoshi's tutelage. Bai Ruoshi's stream swordsmanship was also taught to her. Chun Yunxi had learned it quite well. There was indeed a battle here. The stream swordsmanship left marks on the city wall. This means that the city lord who fought with her here has average ability. Otherwise, the stream swordsmanship would not have been defeated and the city wall damaged. This kind of ability would not be able to do anything to Chun Yunshi. Chun Yunshi had a lot of treasures on her. She had fought a lot in the past few years. After entering rank 7, without the ability of upper stage or peak rank 7, it would not be easy to defeat her. Is it the catacombs powerhouses who attacked? Or is it the bounded domain? Fong Ping looked far to the east, frowning. He could not delay too much. He had to return to Earth as soon as possible. His goal this time was Mount Luofu. Forget it. If I interrogate the nearby royal city powerhouses now, no matter how secretive it is, it will be easily discovered. I'll destroy Mount Luofu. If I can't find them, it won't be too late to come back. At the thought of this, Fong Ping hurried toward the eastern bounded domain. At this moment, Fong Ping restrained his aura, shattered the space, and left without attracting anyone's attention. At the same time, 8 southern regions and 10 southern regions soon broke out into a great war. Jiang Kuei and the others' goal was very simple. They came to kill people in exchange for imperishable substances. Once they entered the catacombs, they quickly rushed to the nearest royal city. With so many powerhouses entering the territory, the catacombs powerhouses quickly sensed it. The royal city's city lord, who was the nearest, quickly led the high-ranked powerhouses under his command and fled without the slightest intention of staying. Not all of them fled. The powerhouses of Donglin Catacombs and Behu Catacombs quickly gathered and began to rush in the direction of Mount Royal Sea. Recently, the catacombs' few royal courts had also issued orders. Once they encountered danger, they were to abandon the city and flee to Mount Royal Sea. In the direction of Mount Royal Sea, there were now messengers from the various royal courts. Very soon, they would ask for help from the royal courts to reinforce them. Behu Catacombs, in the direction of Mount Royal Sea. In the Behu Catacombs today, Mount Royal Sea was no longer guarded by human powerhouses. In reality, the humans guarding had long since evacuated Mount Royal Sea. The paragons had all left. Staying here alone was courting death. Previously, it was to inform the paragons and act as messengers. Now, it was no longer necessary. At this moment, outside Mount Royal Sea, an incomparably tall platform appeared out of thin air. Universe Bao brought dozens of rank 9 powerhouses and stepped into the air. Among the crowd, Ji Yao was protected by a few powerhouses. She also stepped into the air with a cold expression. When they were on the high platform, Universe Bao laughed. "Your Highness, don't worry. With me here, Your Highness will not be in danger." Ji Yao came here because he was half coerced. He was worried that if he left the imperial city, Ji Yao would play tricks. He was also worried that Ji Yao would secretly harm him. That was why he brought Ji Yao along. After saying that, Universe Bao laughed. Previously, there was news that the Land of Rebirth wants to open a new battlefield in the Outer Territory. Recently, the army has been gathering. I have also understood Fong Ping. With his personality, uniting the 5 southern territories might be what he wants to do. As expected, Fong Ping is still eager for grandiose achievements. In the end, he chose 8 southern territories and 10 southern territories. Although Fong Ping did not leak the news, Universe Bao still guessed it. Right now, Universe Bao was also triumphant. He looked like he had the pearl of wisdom in his hands. Fong Ping was only SOSO. Uniting the 5 southern territories? It was a good idea, but how could it be that simple? There were not only outer territories in Divine Land. As Universe Bao spoke, he continued, "Your Highness, you asked me to coerce the Land of Rebirth. In my opinion, as long as we repel their attack this time, or even cause them some damage, the Land of Rebirth will feel the royal court's determination. They will certainly not dare to continue fighting us to the death. When that time comes, the plan to coerce them to retreat will be a success. In this way, your Highness test can be considered completed. Having said that, he smiled and said, I have completed the first 2 stages very smoothly. Your Highness, if I succeed this time, Ji Yao said coldly, I will keep my word. When that time comes, you will be the Deputy Temple Master of Destiny Hall. Thank you very much, Your Highness. Universe Bao cupped his hands, not overly courteous. The high platform was not built to pretend, but because they could not go up to the peak of Mount Royalty. Ordinary rank 9s would be sliced into pieces instantly if they went up. The reason why they built such a high platform was so that they could better observe the situation inside. Across the dozens of miles wide Grand Canyon, Universe Bao saw the powerhouses that were fleeing for their lives. He frowned slightly and said, These foreign martial artists are cowardly and cowardly. The 10 southern regions have many divine generals, more than 20 of them, 50 to 60 venerables, and over 100 commanders. They don't even have the slightest desire to fight. These people want to return to the restricted area to seize power? Wishful thinking. On the Earth's side, their forces were divided into 2, and they had to guard the other passageways. There were not many powerhouses. On the other side, there were more than 30 rank 9s. Now, however, the catacombs were fleeing madly, which made Universe Bao slightly dissatisfied. Soon, however, Universe Bao frowned, somewhat understanding why these people did not dare to fight. Wu Quishan, Su Yunfei, Luo Yu, Yu Wuhua, Li Wuqi. Universe Bao frowned. So these people had come. They were all top-notch rank, 9 powerhouses. It was normal that the outer territory did not dare to resist. However, he was not afraid of anything. Right now, there were many powerhouses around him. That's good too. This time, we've hurt them. I'm afraid they won't dare to come to Godland to cause trouble again. As he said that, Universe Bao looked at Ji Yao, smiling. Your Highness, let the neighboring territories, the powerhouses from the cities that belong to the palace attack the land of rebirth, create pressure on them. Also restrain Fang Ping to prevent him from entering Godland. He would not act rashly, unless the other territories attacked. Even if they did not attack the land of rebirth, based on the land of rebirth's situation, Fang Ping would still have to guard it. If he did not guard it, what if it was breached? Of course, the catacombs did not want to breach it now, even if they had the ability to do so. The internal strife had not been quelled yet. It was not worth it to suddenly start a full-scale war with the land of rebirth. Ji Yao frowned. Seeing that, Universe Bao said mildly, Your Highness, if I can't restrain Fang Ping, then I'm afraid it'll be difficult for me to complete Your Highness test. I'm only a god general after all, not a true king. Universe Bao said again, If I fail the test, then it's not my fault. In short, if he did not restrain Fang Ping, he would not attack. If he did not attack, then so be it. But that would be Ji Yao's fault, not his. If that was the case, then he would be taking over the Heavenly Mandate Army openly. Ji Yao snorted coldly, feeling a little helpless. Since Universe Bao had brought her along, she had no choice but to come. Now, Ji Yao was a little worried. If Fang Ping really came for him, would he kill him along the way? Besides, Universe Bao was smarter than she thought. Fang Ping might not dare to venture deep into Godland at this time. Also, whether Phoenix Sparrow had spread the news, she was not sure. Rumor had it that Phoenix Sparrow was killed by the longevity sword. Ji Yao felt uneasy. At this moment, she had no choice but to speak. She shouted, Pass down the order. The 3 southern regions, 6 southern regions, 12 southern regions, all forces of the royal court, attacked the land of rebirth. As soon as she finished speaking, a huge seal appeared and covered the void. Soon, a powerhouse 100 miles away shouted loudly and began to pass down the order. The catacombs was too big. Non-true king powerhouses could not transmit their voice far. However, the catacombs were not unprepared. Right now, at the Mount Royal Sea Defense Line, a large number of powerhouses were deployed as messengers. One by one, the order could be passed down quickly. Your Highness is wise. Universe Bow laughed. This was good. This way, the pressure on him would be greatly reduced. He only needed to face those rank 9 invaders. It was a pity that the mysterious powerhouse suddenly disappeared. According to his subordinates, he had urgent matters to attend to and left first. Otherwise, Universe Bao might not be afraid of Fong Ping. Just as Universe Bao was thinking about this, above his head, in the void, true Lord Earth Wisdom was hiding in the void rift, observing the situation in the North Lake catacombs. Not here, not a single one. Earth Wisdom frowned slightly. She came to the Outland this time because she knew that humans would open up a battlefield in the Outland. She thought that she might meet Wang Jinyang and the rest, but now not a single one was here. Those people actually did not enter the land. Are they still in the land of rebirth? Or are they in 8 southern territories? Since North Lake was gone, what about Donglin? Earth Wisdom fell into deep thought. Maybe they were over there. She took a look inside again. Her mentality was strong, and the range of her senses was even further. She had already recognized one person, Wu Quishan. This was Fong Ping's teacher. According to some of the previous plans, they should capture or kill him. However, Earth Wisdom was worried that it would attract Fong Ping's attention. If that happened, it would be difficult to lure Wang Jinyang and the rest into the land. Go to 8 southern territories and take a look. If it doesn't work, I'll add fuel to the fire and let these guys from the fake dynasty win. The pressure is too much. Are Wang Jinyang and the rest still not showing up? And that guy Ground Oddity, where did he go? Earth Wisdom frowned slightly. Ground Oddity went to deal with Ji Hong and King Pingshan, but King Pingshan simply sealed up the royal territory and refused to come out. At this time, it would be troublesome if the other party ran away. Since King Pingshan did not move, then there was no need to care about him for the time being. Ground Oddity dealt with Ji Hong. Could it be that he was entangled? I'll go to 8 southern territories and take a look first. Thinking of this, Earth Wisdom's figure flashed away without causing any commotion. The people below did not know that a powerhouse had just left above their heads. Minister Fong, chaos has broken out in Dongwu catacombs. A powerhouse is approaching Dongwu City. At this moment, Heaven Division. While no one noticed anything unusual, a cat sat on a huge sofa. It was soft and comfortable, and while eating, it said vaguely, "Did they start fighting?" They haven't started fighting yet. In everyone's eyes, the person sitting on the sofa was Fong Ping. They did not notice that Fong Ping's avatar was being used as a cushion by the cat. The cat did not care. Its mentality was strong. These people were not as strong as it was. It could simply guide them, and they could not see the real situation. While eating, the cat said, "If they haven't started fighting, then don't worry about it. Oh, right, send me some more food. I'm hungry." The dried fish just now was not bad. I've never eaten it before. You there, go get some more. At the side, a few logistics personnel of Heaven Division looked helpless. What was wrong with the minister today? Although Fong Ping had his flaws, he was not a glutton. The key point was eating, but eating dried fish. Sigh, there was nothing they could say. Minister, chaos has broken out in the West Sea catacombs. A powerhouse has summoned an army and is threatening West Sea City. They haven't started fighting? Not yet, the cat said indifferently. Then why should we care? If we can win, then fight. If we can't, then retreat. They won't dare to attack. The headquarters, is here. The cat patted its round belly, not worried at all. Fight, fight, fight. It would be fine as long as it ate happily. When it was done eating, it was done fighting. If it really could not win, then it would just call the swindlers back. It would not fight. When everyone heard his tone, they did not know whether to be happy or helpless. Was this not important? Why did it feel like Minister Fong did not care at all? Could it be that he had a card up his sleeve? Soon, someone laughed and said, Minister Fong is farsighted. He should have a way to deal with it. The cat listened for a while, blinked its big eyes, and said happily, Of course. Actually, you guys don't have to worry. The headquarters learned a lot of skills from the cat. They even wrote an IOU for 1,000,000 tons of cat food to the cat. They used so much cat food in exchange for a few very powerful skills. One of them is very powerful, the heaven and earth locking invincible defense barrier. When this cat, brother cat from the headquarters, comes out, I will definitely return the cat food to him. Everyone, remember to remind me when the time comes. Tell the others, don't be afraid. If you can't win, just run back. I can use the heaven and earth locking invincible defense barrier to lock the passageway for a day. They can't come in. The cat felt that after eating so much and taking so much, it was fine to do some work. Was it not just a mentality blockade? At most, it would make a trip to lock it. Its mentality was so strong. How could those martial artists below the pinnacle fight their way in? It was just a small matter. It said it confidently. The others looked at it strangely. What heaven and earth locking invincible defense barrier? They knew that Fong Ping liked to name things randomly. In the past, he named his combat technique 10,000 Teachers Fong Ping Technique. They did not expect that he still had this hobby now. The key point was Minister Fong was a little strange today. Owed the cat 1,000,000 tons of cat food. What was he trying to say by saying this to them? Was he asking them to give up the cat food? Was Minister Fong stingy to this extent? Everyone was exhausted. It was so difficult to communicate with Minister Fong. Often, the donkey's lips did not match the horse's mouth. After 2 or 3 sentences, Fong Ping started eating again. Eat if you want, but don't always eat those snacks and dried fish. I wonder if it was the cat or you who ate them. The cat did not care about them. They could talk after eating and drinking. When the scammer came back, he would say that he had contributed greatly and used the heaven and earth locking invincible defense barrier on him. The scammer would be embarrassed to scold me, right? Also, now that everyone knew about the 1,000,000 tons of cat food, was the scammer going to renege on the debt? When the time came, he would show up and ask for the debt directly. Everyone would know that he owed him cat food. The more the cat thought about it, the more pleased it was. Maybe he could write a contract now, or let them start a global conference. No, a global live broadcast. The cat leaned on the sofa, wagging its tail. Should he do this? If he did, the scammer would suffer. The cat laughed so hard that its tongue was sticking out. If the whole world knew that the scammer owed a lot of cat food, that would be interesting. No, the scammer will definitely be angry. If he's angry, what if he doesn't pay up? How about I pretend to be at a disadvantage and go to other places to lock up the passageway? Then my vitality will be greatly damaged. The cat rested its chin on its paws. Was that a good idea? Chapter 1046, South Capitol Catacombs, Easternmost Area. The domain was as quiet as ever, tributary of the Forbidden Sea. The first time he crossed the Forbidden Sea, Fong Ping was trembling with fear. Now, however, he was incomparably calm. He floated at a low altitude above the Forbidden Sea, not even looking down. Instead, he stared at the bounded domain on the opposite side. Mount Luofu. He had never been to Mount Luofu before. However, there was not much difference in the layout of the domain lands. They were all divided into two parts, the inner and outer parts. The outer perimeter was usually where the disciples lived or where the demons were raised. The inner area was where their foundation lay. The Luofu Mountain was one of the 10 great grotto heavens, and its sect master was also an emperor-level expert. This time, the venerable sovereigns of 3 different realms joined the battle, causing the humans to be unable to evacuate in time, and many peerless apex experts were killed or injured. Now, that venerable Luofu wasn't here. How many powerhouses were there in the sect? Fong Ping's gaze kept changing. He had already prepared how to enter Mount Luofu. That day at the king's battlefield, he killed many people from Mount Luofu. Among them, the Luofu Mountain's leader had a storage ring. Fong Ping had found it, and the Luofu Mountain's token was inside the ring. In the past, such a top level 9 expert could open the boundary wall with his token. The key is the size of the commotion. The opening of a domain caused quite a commotion. Fong Ping was worried that someone would notice. If a dead person suddenly opened the door, he would be exposed immediately. Find a secluded place and sneak in. That might work. Actually, it was best to wait here. When the person came out, they would capture one and interrogate him for information. Then, they would get rid of the imposter. But Fong Ping did not have the time. He did not know how long it would take for someone from the Luofu Mountain to come out. Now that the 3 domains were all sealed off from the outside world, who knew when they would be able to meet people again? Was Yunqi captured by them? Or kill him? Fong Ping's gaze was cold and stern. He frowned and quickly suppressed these thoughts. If Luofu Mountain did it, what was their purpose? Threatening me? However, Luofu Mountain did not reveal anything to the outside world. Fong Ping had a nagging feeling that Chun Yunqi's disappearance this time might not necessarily be because someone had captured her to threaten him. Few people would do something like capturing someone to threaten a powerhouse. It was meaningless. The reason why experts were experts was because they were decisive. When fighting, he would never surrender just because his family and friends were being threatened. All the experts knew one thing. Strength was the foundation. Only a fool would do such a brainless thing, like crippling one's martial arts. In the end, it would only result in one's family and friends dying together. If it was really people from Mount Luofu or other forces who had captured Chun Yunqi, Fong Ping felt that the possibility of them threatening him or Chunyouting was not high. Then why? Thoughts flashed through Fong Ping's mind, and he had a general idea of what was going on. Perhaps it was to force him to reveal his secrets. Fong Ping, was too much of a monster. He was so monstrous that even he was afraid of himself. In less than 3 years, an ordinary person had reached the pinnacle. Perhaps these people would think that Chun Yunqi knew something. Chun Yunqi was Fong Ping's office director in the Martial Arts Society. She was also Fong Ping's office director in the Heavenly Division. Rumors about Fong Ping and Chun Yunqi had been circulating in the outside world since a long time ago. There were not many people close to Fong Ping. People like Old Wang were very strong, and it was very difficult to capture them. But Chun Yunqi, rank 7 was nothing. Fong Yuan's family members were even weaker, but it was almost impossible to meet them in the catacombs. Do you want to interrogate Yunqi about my secret? Fong Ping frowned. Chun Yunqi actually knew some things. Even if Fong Ping did not say it, she could guess a lot. But it did not matter much. At this moment, it did not matter even if Fong Ping knew some of his secrets. The key was, if Chun Yunshi did not say anything, he was afraid that there would be a lot of trouble. If these people really captured her and interrogated her for information, they would not treat her well. Whatever, let's sneak in first. Fong Ping looked around. The bounded zone was very long. He would find a more remote place to enter first. A more remote place. Maybe it would be better to enter from the sea. The bounded zone usually has an energy pool that is directly connected to the Forbidden Sea. The boundary wall over there is slightly weaker. Demons will often appear nearby. A little movement might not attract attention. Fong Ping thought, and in an instant he dove into the sea. In the sea, Fong Ping glanced around and quickly found a few demons. Near the bounded zone, there had always been demons wandering around. However, there were not as many as other places. Maybe because of the recent riots in the Forbidden Sea, some of these demons left. Fong Ping did not stand on ceremony. His mentality erupted, intimidating a few monsters. With a slash of the god-slaying saber, he killed a few rank 9 demons almost in the blink of an eye. After keeping the corpses, Fong Ping did not look back and quickly swam toward the bottom of the bounded zone. He had already sensed that the energy in front seemed to be much thicker. That might be the water outlet. Mount Luofu. It was like a fairyland. The Sky Palace floated in the air, its scale incomparably grand. It was not lifeless. At this moment, in the Mount Luofu Immortal Palace, there were many people. There were women dressed as palace maids, walking around from time to time. There were martial artists dressed in armor, patrolling the Sky Palace in teams. In the Sky Palace, there were monsters roaring, young men and women chatting and laughing, and there was faint celestial music. This was Mount Luofu. It was not as desolate as Kwokang Mountain. Back then, there was only one person and one cat sleeping separately. Mount Luofu was not as prosperous as it was now. However, before Venerable Emperor came out of the mountain, he woke up all the sleeping disciples. Among the 10 grotto heavens, Mount Luofu had suffered a lot of losses back then. However, there were also many survivors, much better than other blessed grotto heavens. Not only Mount Luofu, Mount Wangu, Mount Weiyu, and other places, the losses were not as great as imagined. At this moment, Mount Luofu, in the central area of the Sky Palace, in an incomparably glorious huge palace, with the rank 9 monster plant trunk as the main material, the metal comparable to the material of rank, 7 or 8 divine weapons as the walls, and the huge energy stones filled with energy as the floor tiles, this huge palace was built. In front of the palace door, 3 magnificent words hung. Fong Ping might not recognize them, even if he saw them. Azure Emperor Palace. Mount Luofu's Venerable Emperor was also known as Venerable Emperor Qingjing. Azure Emperor Palace was his palace. At this moment, in the huge main hall, there was a human voice. The huge throne in the middle of the main hall was empty. On the throne, there were huge gemstones inlaid. Even if there was no one, the throne exuded a faint pressure, making people not dare to look directly at it. Fong Ping had seen such a throne in Xuanda Grotto Heaven. At that time, he had guessed that it might be a desperate realm demon's demon core. And the truth was, it was indeed so. This was also a proof of a battle record. It meant that the owner of the throne had once killed a desperate realm demon and left the other party's demon core. This was something that only an emperor level could do. At this moment, the huge throne was empty. Below, there were 6 huge seats on the left and right. 12 thrones. This was a treatment that only the top could have. Only the top could have a seat in the Azure Emperor Palace. This was proof of identity and status, as well as proof of strength. Other martial artists, no matter how high their status was or how strong their background was, if they were not at the top, they had to stand and speak in the Azure Emperor Palace. The main hall was not flat, but divided into steps. The venerable emperor's throne was high up, and the top's throne was slightly lower. Below it, the 9 steps were separated again, and this was where the others stood. At this moment, there were many people in the main hall. On the 12 thrones, there were also people. On the 3rd seat on the left sat a young man, dressed in a brocade robe, with long hair draped over his shoulders. At this time, he gently rubbed his temples, as if he was worried about something. A few female martial artists dressed as palace maids carefully placed the dishes on the table in front of the throne and poured wine into the wine glasses. "Perfected lord, it's time to eat," an extremely beautiful woman cautiously reminded him with a face full of concern. "Perfected lord, don't hurt your body. I just picked fresh immortal fruits from the myriad orchard today. Perfected lord, try it and see if it's to your taste." The young man raised his head, casually picked up the wine glass, and took a sip. He frowned slightly, as if he was not very satisfied. Soon, under the woman's uneasy gaze, he put down the wine glass heavily. The sound of the wine glass hitting the table also made the whispers below quiet down. The young man's face was cold, as he said indifferently, "Noisy? You only know how to be noisy. You don't even know that disaster is imminent. If this goes on, how can Luofu Mountain prosper?" Below, a middle-aged man in a long robe with a long sword at his waist bowed slightly and said, "Ninth Elder, the sect's only major enemy now is the human world." Fang Ping of the human world considers himself the king of the human world and is extremely overbearing. Previously, sect master attacked in the graveyard of the gods, which will definitely cause Fang Ping to be dissatisfied. "Nonsense!" The young man scolded. "I don't want to hear this nonsense. I summoned you here to let you decide if you want to cooperate with the divine sect." The young man had a headache and said coldly, "The divine sect wants to use us as pawns, as bait, to lure and kill Fang Ping. It sounds nice, and there's no danger, but how can I not know that the divine sect is trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone? If we really lure Fang Ping out, the divine sect might just stand by and watch us kill each other. It's really hateful." After saying that, he frowned again and said, "But Fang Ping is becoming stronger so fast. Luofu Mountain is here, and there are no secrets of the Outland." As expected, Luofu Mountain, Huatong Mountain, and a few other clans are the first forces that Fang Ping wants to deal with other than the 4 dynasties. He also had a sense of crisis. Everyone knew that humans would seek revenge for the smallest grievance. The people of the Outland could just close the Outland and hide in the void. You might not be able to find them then, but the bounded domain was here. They could not run away even if they wanted to. If not for the catacombs restraining the 3 major domains, they might have already started fighting with the human world. The young man did not care much before, but after Fang Ping killed True Lord Earthly Zhou, he was a little worried. True Lord Earthly Zhou, True God Stage 5. And his strength was comparable to True Lord Earthly Zhou. As the young man said, he murmured, "Fang Ping, freak, more freak than King Wu. In just 3 years from a mortal to a true god, this person's freak has never been heard of. Even if he is a reincarnated extreme path heavenly emperor, he is also strong too fast." Since he was a reincarnated, even if he was recovering his strength, reaching the peak in 3 years, this speed was also frightening. And if he was really a reincarnated extreme path heavenly emperor, then he had to think of a way. Otherwise, Fang Ping, who was getting stronger and stronger, would become a big problem sooner or later. At this time, someone below said, "Elder, cooperating with the divine sect is tantamount to asking a tiger for its skin. But Fang Ping really wants to kill. Why don't we negotiate with the divine sect? Mount Luofu will open the passageway and let them enter the human world. The divine sect has many powerhouses. There is a high chance of killing Fong Ping in the human world. When they enter the human world and seal the passageway, they can only enter and exit from the outer realm. If the Netherworld King is still here, he will definitely stop the murderer. Maybe he can make the divine sect and the human world both suffer great losses. Easy for you to say. Why would the divine sect agree? If they really had this intention, they would have made a move long ago when earthly Zhou fell. The young man sneered. We want to see them both suffer great losses. They also want to see us and the human world suffer great losses. Now, the Netherworld King is hiding in the dark. It is also an important point that everyone is afraid of. The young man shook his head slightly and said quickly, the human world is obviously a great enemy of all sides, but now they can't reach an agreement. They all want to be the fisherman who benefits. If this goes on, sooner or later, Fong Ping will grow up. Understanding was one thing, but doing it was difficult. It had to be said that Life King still had some ability. Everyone was afraid of death, did not want to die, did not want to become a sacrifice. Under such circumstances, Life King could summon the catacombs' powerhouses to attack the human world together and kill the threat of King Wu. This was actually a great ability. Unfortunately, Life King was dead. Also because of Life King's death, there were now not many people who dared to stand out. Killing Life King, that was a huge deterrent. The more the young man thought about it, the more irritated he became. He waved his hand and said, all of you back off. Don't go out of the sect for now. Earthly Zhou is dead. Fong Ping must have guessed that one of the sects or grandmaster let Earthly Zhou enter. Previously, there were people patrolling the void in the human world, probably to find the door. This was done by Void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven. When necessary, maybe we can spread the news, let Fong Ping and Void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven fight. Once they fight, maybe it will be our chance. Now, everyone lacked someone to stand out. If Void, Mausoleum Grotto Heaven, was the one who stood out, maybe the others would hear the news and attack together. Yes, sir. Everyone responded one after another. Even if they were asked to go out now, they might not dare. Now that it was very chaotic outside, they might be killed. Everyone left quickly. The palace maids also retreated under the young man's impatient gaze. After they had all left, the young man murmured, Fong Ping, Fong Ping. That day, he had participated in the Battle of the King battlefield. Therefore, he saw Fong Ping's evilness, and he also saw Fong Ping's horror. When the late-stage venerable emperors left, he was a step slower and did not chase after them. Venerable Emperor Qing Jin sent a voice transmission asking him to return to the sect to take charge. So he returned to Mount Luofu. Compared to other people's hearsay, he really saw Fong Ping's ruthlessness. In his opinion, the most ruthless thing was when Fong Ping had just left the king battlefield. The second king's people were chasing him, and he turned around and killed a paragon under the second king's eyes, knowing that he was no match for them. Such a person was too scary. If Fong Ping doesn't die, the three realms will be in chaos sooner or later. But this person has only been cultivating for 3 years. How did he cultivate to this level? The young man frowned, quickly got up and walked toward his palace. This was not his territory. This was the sect master's hall. His elder's hall was still next to it. He returned to his elder's hall. The young man ignored the greetings of the people in the palace and walked all the way to the depths of the palace. In the deepest part of the palace, there was a small courtyard. Outside the courtyard, 2 rank 9 powerhouses stood. When they saw the young man, they bowed and said, Elder. Did he say it? No. The young man frowned, looking at the woman sitting cross-legged in the courtyard. Even when he came, the woman still closed her eyes and ignored him. Tell me, I'll let you go. The young man said calmly, You've served Fong Ping for some time. You can't be ignorant. Fong Ping must have secrets, tell me, and you can save yourself the pain. In the courtyard, Chen Yunqi opened her eyes full of exhaustion, but her tone was unusually calm. I said, I don't know. I don't have any intimate relationship with Fong Ping. He has a lot of classmates. Would he tell everyone his secrets? Are you an idiot? The young man snorted coldly. A flame-like energy rose in his hand, not floating toward Chen Yunqi, but falling under the small courtyard. In the small courtyard, a crystal-like barrier rose in all directions. In the next moment, a raging energy flame rose in the small courtyard. Chen Yunqi was sweating like rain, her body trembling, her mentality overflowing, a large amount of vitality force on the surface of her body evaporating. The young man said coldly, "Don't say that you don't know. I've investigated you. I'm very clear about your relationship with Fong Ping. You've tasted the taste of spirit fire, burning your vitality, burning your spiritual consciousness. I treated an enemy in the past, a martial artist of rank 8 origin, burning him for 3 days. Guess what his only wish was in the end?" Chen Yunqi ignored him. "Let me send him back to heaven. He died without dignity, without value, like a dog, begging me to kill him." I really don't know. Chen Yunqi's whole body trembled. The sound of her teeth chattering could be heard. She said shakily, "Me and him, it's just my one-sided love. Humans, there are too many people who like him. He's so dazzling. No one would dislike him, no matter how many times you ask me. It's useless." "Then tell me, how did you reach rank 7 so quickly?" The young man said coldly, "Before rank 6, I'm not curious. What I'm curious about is, how did he help you seal the Sanjiao Gate? Does he have any treasures that he especially values? How can he change his aura? How can he restrain his aura and not be detected at all? How is he different from ordinary people on normal days? I don't believe that he, who advanced to the peak in 3 years, has no abnormalities at all. If you say he doesn't, then you must be lying to me. Not only will you die, but also that useless rank 9 who entered this place recently. That's your grandfather, isn't it? I've already found his whereabouts. Wait until I catch him burning his spiritual consciousness. I'll let you see how he dies in pain with your own eyes. I think you'll be looking forward to it. It's useless." Chen Yunqi smiled with difficulty. "I really don't know. Even if you kill my grandfather, and I make up some lies, will you believe it? Tell me, maybe I'll believe it." The young man was indifferent. Whether it was true or false, he could more or less judge. He was really too curious. Fong Ping, how did he become stronger? If he could find out the secret of his strength, maybe he could also improve further, become a venerable emperor, a saint, or even a heavenly king. In the 3 realms, there would be many who were curious about Fong Ping. In the past, he could be wary of King Wu. Now, Fong Ping was also extremely strong. In the young man's opinion, the probability of Fong Ping telling his parents and family was not high. His parents were only low-ranked martial artists, and his sister was not considered strong. To be honest, as a young man, the probability of Fong Ping telling his women was higher. Chen Yunqi endured the pain and smiled. "You really want to know? Then I'll tell you, the reason why he's so strong is actually because of King Wu. Do you believe it?" The young man frowned. He's actually just King Wu's chess piece. Just a chess piece that deliberately attracts your attention. King Wu is the reincarnation of Heaven Reverse Emperor. He is just an ordinary martial artist. King Wu needs him to divert everyone's attention, so secretly helping him to continuously improve his strength. Chen Yunqi panted. "That's the truth. Fong Ping also knows, but he needs to become stronger. So he can only show that he's very strong, very strong." I've told you everything I know. Are you messing with me? The young man snorted coldly. An energy flame appeared in his hand again, merging into the ground. In the courtyard, the raging flames flared up even more. The sound of flesh cracking could be heard. A large amount of vitality, force, and mentality were burned and evaporated. The young man saw that Chen Yunxi did not say a word, as if she was dead. He snorted coldly, waved his hand, and released a wave of energy, closing the courtyard door. At this moment, one of the two rank 9s by the door said in a low voice, "Elder, the martial artists in the human world today are all people who can endure. Moreover, this woman may not really know anything. If the news is leaked and Fang Ping finds out, why not kill this woman and frame the divine sect or other sects? Of course I know that she may not know anything," the young man said indifferently. "Continue to ask questions that are not important. She's still young, thinking that I only want to force Fang Ping to reveal his secrets. But she doesn't know. I have my own plans. Ask her everything clearly, how she interacts with Fang Ping normally, who are her friends in the human world." "Elder!" One of them seemed to know something, a little shocked, and said in a low voice, "Elder, isn't this too risky?" "It's fine," the young man said lightly. "There are benefits to taking risks, but do you know what I want to do?" The rank 9 martial artist who was asked lowered his head and said, "I saw a secret technique in the Library of Martial Arts. You're in luck." The young man smiled faintly and said, "After I took this cultivation technique that year, I stopped spreading it. It seems that you must have gone in and seen it that year. There are not many people who know about it now." As he said that, the young man stretched out his hand and patted his shoulder, saying with a smile, "Ask seriously. The more you know, the better. If I succeed, you too will benefit. Now that the sect leader is not here, the sect also needs a few new elders. Both of you are my direct descendants. If I become the sect leader, elder, who do you think it will be?" Both of them were extremely excited and answered hurriedly. The young man said no more, turned around, and left. The moment he turned his head, there was an additional coldness in his eyes. The more you know, the faster you die. Don't you know that trouble comes from the mouth? When things were done, these two people should also disappear. After he left, the two people in front of the door waited for a while. The other person said in a low voice, "Do you know what the elder wants to do?" "I guessed a little." The person from before looked at the small courtyard and said telepathically, "This courtyard is not purely for torturing people. Did you see it? This woman's vitality and spiritual consciousness are constantly being burned and stripped from her flesh. These vitality and spiritual consciousness are not burned but preserved by the array in the courtyard. This kind of burned vitality and spiritual consciousness, if it goes through the elder's cultivation technique, it can be attached to the elder's spiritual consciousness and vitality." As soon as this was said, the other person seemed to understand and said in shock, "The elder wants to impersonate this woman, enter the human world. Not only that, maybe he also has the intention to get close to Fang Ping. This woman is said to be Fang Ping's lover. When the time comes when she knows Fang Ping's secret, killing Fang Ping will be a piece of cake. But it's too risky. The elder is also full of courage." This person sighed. 9th elder was full of courage. This was very dangerous. Once something was wrong, it would not be difficult for Fang Ping to join forces with the Netherworld King to kill 9th elder. However, if it really succeeded, then it would be amazing. Chun Yunxi's strength was not considered strong, so she would not attract too much attention. But her identity and status were not ordinary. 9th elder could even take the opportunity to jump out of this general situation and impersonate Chun Yunxi to hide in the human world. Maybe after King Wu and the others returned, he could even enter the core group of King Wu, and the others. Her grandfather was a powerhouse in the human world, and it was said that his status was not low. Her lover was Fong Ping. If he was stronger, like rank 9, or even broke through to the peak, then he would definitely become a core figure in the human world. If Ninth Elder impersonated her, if Fong Ping died, he could even use her identity to pretend to be King Wu's widow. It was fine if King Wu's widow was not strong, but if she was strong, in this period, it was extremely normal for her to rule the human world. When King Wu returned, maybe even King Wu would trust her. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that Ninth Elder's choice to capture Chen Yunxi was a good move. Ninth Elder was not considered a powerhouse in the three realms before, so he might not have the chance to do anything, but now the chance was great. As he thought about this, his companion beside him was a little worried. This was a top secret. If Elder wanted to impersonate Chen Yunxi once his identity was exposed, it would be extremely dangerous. Now that both of them knew, would Elder silence them? Although he was worried. On Mount Luofu, the sect leader had left, and the other elders were either dead or gone. Ninth Elder was heaven. If they did not listen to him now, they would only die faster. I hope Elder won't make a move. We are his direct subordinates. Elder also needs manpower. This person comforted himself, and soon thought of the rank 9 who had been wandering outside the sect recently. Elder, maybe it was not that he did not find the other party. Instead, he deliberately did not kill him, did not capture him. Perhaps Elder had made preparations. When Chen Yunxi was unconscious or injured, Chen Yaoding would coincidentally find her and bring her back to the human world. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that Ninth Elder was extremely calculative. Perhaps Chen Yaoding was lured here by Elder himself. When that time came, Chen Yunxi would be fine, Chen Yaoding would be fine, and they would return safely. Even if Fong Ping knew that it was related to Mount Luofu, he might not make a move. Even if he did, Ninth Elder had already entered the human world, and he might not care about Mount Luofu's survival. Thinking about it this way, this person felt that the future might be a little bumpy. No wonder Elder has been asking us to pry for some unimportant information these days. This person turned around and took a look at the courtyard. The woman in the courtyard probably did not expect Elder to have such an idea. As for Elder being a male, when he reached the impasse, his golden body was ever-changing. It was not too difficult to turn into a man or a woman. For the sake of the great plan, it was not unacceptable to turn into a woman. At this moment, Fong Ping, who had just sneaked into Mount Luofu, had never thought about this. If he knew, he would probably grind this Ninth Elder's bones into ashes. Chapter 1047. This is Mount Luofu. The place where Fong Ping emerged from was a spring under Mount Luofu's heavenly palace. There was no one around. Fong Ping transformed into that Mount Luofu, rank 9's aura, made a small opening in the boundary wall through the token, and entered. As soon as he entered Mount Luofu, Fong Ping sensed a strong aura. There's a paragon. A paragon, rank 9's. 24 people, more than 30 rank 8's, more than 50 rank 7's. Fong Ping was a little emotional. This was the blessed grotto heaven. Even if there were heavy losses, powerhouses were everywhere. This desperation is not weak. I'm afraid he is not weaker than true Lord Earthly Zhou. While Fong Ping was thinking, his figure flashed quickly, leaving the place. As soon as he left, a rank 9 powerhouse landed from the sky, glanced at the spring, frowned slightly, and murmured, "The seal is shaking a little. Are the demons at the bottom of the sea attacking the seal again?" Just now, the seal shook a little. This person was the powerhouse who usually presided over the formation. After investigating for a while, he did not find anything unusual. This person shook his head, soared into the sky again, and disappeared on the spot. Not far away, Fang Ping, who was hiding in the void, watched him leave silently and did not make a move. To destroy these blessed grotto heaven, the paragon must be killed first. If the paragon did not die, then the sect would not be destroyed. If the paragon died, even if the others did not die, they could not make too much of a splash. Fang Ping was about to sneak into the heavenly palace when he suddenly frowned. This place has more than one paragon. At this moment, Fang Ping felt a looming aura. The aura of a desperation. It was very weak, but it was real. A sleeping antique. Fang Ping made a judgment in his heart. Some antiques had really reached the end of their lifespan, and they would almost not wake up unless it was the last moment. Mount Luofu probably had an antique. Such an antique would not be weak. However, they were in a deep sleep, unless they encountered a fatal crisis. Otherwise, they would not wake up. Fang Ping looked in the direction of the heavenly palace. He sensed the looming aura just now. It came from the Lake of Eternal. The Lake of Eternal was also a standard of the blessed grotto heaven. Back then, Gong Juanzi's body was soaked in Quokang Mountain's Lake of Eternal. Later on, LV Zhen also went there to soak himself. As a result, Fang Ping, who initially had high hopes for the Lake of Eternal, lost all expectations in the end. Moreover, he could convert imperishable substances himself, using imperishable substances to maintain the vitality of the fleshly body. That's in line with old antiques' sleeping characteristics. Fang Ping withdrew all of his aura and sensed once more. He discovered that the active paragon was quite a distance away from the Lake of Eternal. Fang Ping was no longer worried. His silhouette flickered in the void. Perhaps even ordinary rank 9s could not see his movements. The Fang Ping of today was much stronger than before. From the underground to the heavenly palace, there were all kinds of restrictions. Without permission, even a rank 9 would be cut into pieces if they barged into the heavenly palace. However, to Fang Ping, not to mention that he could sense the correct path. Even if he could not, these prohibitions would not be able to cut him. Fang Ping kept wandering in the space rift. Soon, Fang Ping broke into the heavenly palace area. The correct path led straight to a gigantic door. On the door was written, Zhu Mingyao's true realm, Luofu Mountain, Zhu Mingyao's true heaven of the 10 great heavens. 5 big words in flamboyant calligraphy shone with a strange light, captivating. These words were written by Venerable Emperor. On both sides of the decorated archway stood 4 powerhouses, 2 on each side. 2 rank 7s, 2 rank SIXS. Obviously, Luofu Mountain had not exaggerated enough to use a rank 8 golden body to guard the door of the heavenly palace. A rank 8 golden body, even in ancient times, was also a figure of a region. An indestructible golden body, the limit of physical development. These were all represented by a rank 8 powerhouse. At this moment, the 4 gatekeeping martial artists were extremely quiet, not saying a word. Guarding the door was actually just one meaning. No one thought that anyone could break into Luofu Mountain. Even if they did, they would have been discovered long ago. They were guarding here to prevent people from the outer sect below from breaking in. However, in the war that year, the inner sect was still fine, but the outer sect people were almost all dead. Today, there were not many people in the outer sect. Some were prisoners captured from the outer sect. Some were resurrected martial artists. Yes, resurrected martial artists. Star Town's resurrected martial artists. All these years, Star Town had sent people into the land of rebirth. When Fang Ping was in the Hall of Myriad Origins, he sensed a lot of life origins. Some people were resurrected, some did not, but there were not many resurrected martial artists left in Star Town. because a part of them had entered the blessed grotto heavens. Fang Ping knew about these things. Back then, the people in Star Town had told him that if there was a matching aura, they might give him an opportunity. This opportunity was to enter the blessed grotto heavens. Li Zhen had entered the blessed grotto heavens before. Zhang Tao once said that no one existed in the blessed grotto heavens that Li Zhen had entered, not a single one. But now, Fang Ping discovered that there were people in the 8 major territories. Whether Li Zhen had entered one of the 8 major blessed grotto heavens back then was up for debate. He did not know if that place had been destroyed or still existed. Although Fang Ping had been to many places, he had not been to many of the 108 outer sections. Here, at Luofu Mountain, resurrected martial artists had entered. After entering, they had never left again. Now, these people were in the outer sect below. These people were the outer sect disciples that Luofu Mountain had left in the human world. They had entered the catacombs with the demon emperor to fight, and almost all of them had died in battle. Places like Luofu Mountain did not trust these outer sect disciples. No one knew if they were pawns set up by the demon emperor. Of course, they did not dare to put them in important positions. However, some trivial matters could still be handed over to these people to take care of. Feeding monsters, planting immortal fruits, servants, palace maids, these people might have been selected from the outer sect disciples. However, there were very few who could enter the heavenly palace. Luofu Mountain did not care too much about those people below. Fang Ping had actually seen and sensed it. He saw that some people's auras were weak, and some people were plowing like cows. He did not know what to think. If these people had stayed in the human world like Guo Shengquan and the others, they would also be respected powerhouses now. But they had chosen to enter the blessed grotto heavens. Over at Star Town, Fang Ping knew that they would not force you to go. Of course, there were some temptations, but it was still up to them to choose whether to go or stay. Since these people had entered the blessed grotto heavens and were now in this state, Fang Ping did not want to say anything. The heavenly palace only had this main door. There were no obstructions around, but layers of restrictions were set up. Anyone who came would have to pass through this door. Fang Ping hid in the void dozens of meters in front of the door plate. He did not show himself, nor did he force his way in. He sensed a hint of murderous intent. The few big words on the door plate seemed to contain some special energy. If he broke through the void and entered, he might be attacked. These powerhouses were not really defenseless against intruders. Fang Ping was not afraid of such attacks, but in this way, he would be exposed. They're quite careful. They even set up such restrictions inside their own lair. Fang Ping muttered in his heart. His mentality and energy dissipated and spread out slowly. There were some voices in his ears. "Master, when can we reappear in the 3 realms?" "Wait. Senior sister, the set of cultivation methods that Master mentioned before, I don't understand. Senior sister, Mother, I want to go to the human world to have a look. Why can't I open the door?" Ninth Elder has strictly ordered that no one is allowed to open the door to the human world. There are powerhouses in the human world now. I know. Is that Fang Ping? The person who claimed to be the king of man. Damn it. When has the Luofu immortal realm ever feared an ant in the mortal world? Once Ninth Elder has killed Fang Ping, I will definitely make a trip to the human realm to slay those devils and uphold justice. Slay demons and defend justice. Yes, the neo-martial artists in the human world were the devils, the publicly acknowledged fiend of the 3 realms. Who was the righteous path? The human realm beyond heavens, the land of boundaries, the overseas immortal islands, and the divine sect were all righteous because the divine sect was also the Orthodox of the heavenly court. King Kuan was one of the 8 kings, and so were the 3 sages, who dared to say that the divine sect was not orthodox. Even the catacombs' 4 majestic halls had their roots in the earthly emperor divine dynasty. Whether or not the earthly emperor's projection was the earthly emperor himself, it was still the earthly emperor. Therefore, the only thing in the 3 realms that wasn't considered orthodox was the human world. Was Heavenly King Zhen one of the 8 kings? I don't know. Even if it was, the human world was not the orthodoxy of the heaven-subduing king. Therefore, the human world was the demonic path. At this moment, Fang Ping laughed at himself in his heart. This was the position of the human world in the eyes of all parties. Demonic Tao, slay demons, and defend justice was a matter of course. The human realm beyond heavens, the land of boundaries, these places all regarded the human world as the demonic path. Therefore, in their eyes, the martial artists in the human world could be killed by them. But once they were killed by the martial artists in the human world, it would be the demonic path wreaking havoc. The person who spoke just now was probably not very old. Even the ancient people were sealed when they were young. But at such a young age, they had developed a deep-rooted impression that they were immortals, gods, and the righteous path. Disobedience in the human world was the demonic path. We have to slay demons and defend justice. Then today, I will let the demonic path wreak havoc. Fang Ping snorted coldly in his heart. Slay demons and defend justice in the human world. What a righteous cause! He had long seen through this group of hypocrites. They thought they were infallible, thought they were immortals, and were arrogant. Did they think they could dictate the fate of humans? Ridiculous! At this moment, Fang Ping's mentality erupted instantly destroying most of the mentality of a rank 6 monster that was wandering leisurely behind the archway. Roar! This monster suddenly went berserk, madly crashing into the Imperial Road in the distance. Seeing this scene, a few martial artists guarding the door turned their heads to look. Seeing the monster with red eyes, one of the rank 7 martial artists cursed in a low voice. These demons should all be chased away. They make a ruckus from time to time. If they stay in the immortal palace, the palace won't have peace. Although he was cursing, the person still said quickly, "Go suppress it. Don't disturb the peace of the elders and the deacons." Hearing that, the 2 rank 6 martial artists hurried over there. Seeing that they had gone, the other rank 7 martial artists said helplessly, "Recently, the elders have not been in a good mood. The deacons are also in a bad mood. I'm afraid you and I will be reprimanded again, this time. As for the rank 6 monster going berserk, monsters below the high ranks did not have high intelligence. Going berserk was not too surprising. After staying in the heavenly palace for a long time, these demons were also depressed. Venting a little was not a big deal. As the 2 chatted, their gazes were also looking over there. The rank 6 monster was not weak. The 2 rank 6 martial artists had their hands and feet tied. They could not take it down for a while. Seeing this scene, both of them secretly cursed useless. If the commotion was any bigger, it would attract the attention of the adults. Both of them could not care less about their pride and hurried over there. Behind them, Fang Ping's silhouette was faintly discernible, flickering constantly like a shadow, following them. Very soon, the 2 rank 7 martial artists subdued the rank 6 monster. They did not kill it. It looked like they were going to escort it to the outer sect. Fang Ping, however, could not be bothered with them. He did not make a move on them either. After passing the decorated archway, other than guarding against the paragon, he did not need to care too much about the others. Fang Ping headed straight for the Lake of Eternal. The slumbering apex expert was his first target. Once this kind of antique woke up, it would be a great threat. But in its deep sleep, he might be able to kill the other party easily. Of course, he could not kill it completely. Otherwise, Tao would collapse, and he would be discovered instantly. Leaving behind a little mentality primer was not a problem. Fong Ping calculated everything clearly and hurried on his way. If he met anyone on the way, he would try to avoid them. After a while, a heavily guarded place appeared in front of Fong Ping. It was a huge garden. Outside the door, no one was standing guard, but there was a building that looked like a gatehouse. Among them, a rank 9 and a rank 8 powerhouse were chatting in the gatehouse. 2 powerhouses were keeping watch. Obviously, this place was very important. Senior, do you think Third Elder has not woken up for so many years? Could it be? Be careful with your words. The rank 9 old man growled and said quickly, Third Elder has been in closed-door cultivation for many years. When he comes out this time, he might be able to achieve the position of Venerable Emperor. Although he said it, the old man did not believe it himself. Third Elder was already old. True gods and venerable emperors were known to have a lifespan of 10,000 years. But in reality, it was still different. If a true god could live for 8,000 years, then you were lucky. You were strong and close to emperor level. Under normal circumstances, if a true god was over 5,000 years old, then they had to sleep often. Otherwise, they would age quickly and enter their old age. As for emperor-level powerhouses, the stronger they were, the longer they lived. The limit of 10,000 years was only for those ordinary emperor-level powerhouses. The stronger they were, the stronger their life essence, the later they would enter the end of their lives. Their third elder was already over 7,000 years old. He might really enter the end of his life. If he did not wake up now, it was not the time for the last fight. Once he woke up, if he did not become an emperor, he might age and die quickly. Over at Mount Luofu, Grand Elder had already passed away in meditation a few years ago. Second Elder had died in the Graveyard of Gods that year. 12 elders, either dead or in deep sleep, and a few younger ones had also followed into the Cemetery of Gods this time. In the sect, only 2 true gods, Third Elder who was in deep sleep and Ninth Elder who was still presiding over the sect, were present. The old man flattered and did not speak again, but his mentality began to fluctuate. As for Fong Ping, he hid outside. His mentality also overflowed. Both of them were communicating telepathically. Fong Ping now knew why old Zhang liked to eavesdrop. Eavesdropping on other people's telepathic conversations was a very satisfying thing. Junior, now in the sect, Ninth Elder presides over the sect affairs. You know Ninth Elder's personality. He seems unmoved, but in reality his mind is gloomy. The less he speaks, the more mistakes he makes. Third Elder is Ninth Elder's master. Be careful not to be caught. Thank you for reminding me, Senior. I also lost my head for a moment just now. The middle-aged man thanked him and said, Senior, there has been some abnormalities in the sect recently. Previously, there were martial artists bombarding the seal outside the sect, but Ninth Elder asked US to guard the sect and not let people out. This probably not willing to have a conflict with the human world. It is said that the ones who bombarded the seal were human martial artists. Those devils in the human world are extremely daring. Now that the sect master is not here, Ninth Elder is not wrong to act cautiously. It is just that he has lost the sect's face. However, we are just mere executives. This matter is not up to us. No, I heard that recently Senior Qingyan and Senior Qingming have been in the Hall of Elders and have not come out. Senior, do you think Ninth Elder is planning something? Don't be nosy. Senior, it's not that we are nosy, but we have to think for ourselves. Although we have been sealed for many years, our lifespans are also reaching the limit. If we don't become true gods, I'm afraid our lifespans will be exhausted, and we will die. What do you want to do? I'm just a little curious about what Ninth Elder is doing. Ninth Elder definitely wants to become an emperor. And now, it is said that the human world's Tao is loosening. Do you think Elder wants to take the opportunity to go to the human world to achieve Tao? That person from the outside world, could it be related to this? Related to this, could it be that Elder wants to befriend the human world martial artists and take the opportunity to enter the human world? But the sect master fought with the human world's martial artists before. Both of them were still talking. After being sealed for thousands of years, it was rare for them to wake up now. Both of them were also very talkative. Fang Ping listened for a while. He did not gain much, but he noticed a few points. There were 2 rank 9s in the Hall of Elders who had not come out. He sensed it, but it was somewhat blocked. In addition, there was a paragon there, so he did not dare to investigate carefully. Secondly, someone had attacked the stronghold from the outside. The probability of it being Chun Yaoding was not small. This old man actually came here. He must have discovered something. Otherwise, with Chun Yaoding's personality, he would not rashly enter the boundary zone. The old man did not go back. He did not inform me. He chose to come by himself. Fang Ping sighed softly in his heart. He somewhat knew what Chun Yaoding was thinking. Fang Ping could not easily take the risk. If he came to Mount Luofu, if he was left behind on Mount Luofu, or if a great battle broke out and he was surrounded by other powerhouses, the probability of Fang Ping being surrounded and killed here was very high. If he stayed on Earth, those powerhouses would not dare to go to Earth and risk their lives. Nonsense. A weak rank 9 who has just broken through to the boundary zone. Is he courting death? Fang Ping cursed in his heart. But before he came, he did not sense Chun Yaoding's aura. This old man must have also hidden and did not continue to stay nearby. Hiding, the probability of him hiding in the Forbidden Sea was higher. However, this was also a very dangerous thing. Fang Ping did not know how he could resist the erosion of the Forbidden Sea's seawater. Hall of Elders. Hall of Elders, wait a little longer. There's a paragon over there. It's too dangerous. Here, their 3rd elder is in a deep sleep. I'll kill him first. Fang Ping thought in his heart. This time, he did not have any scruples. He traveled through the void, directly, passed by both of them, and entered the big garden. In the garden, the scenery was great. However, Fang Ping did not pay attention to it. He had already seen the constantly tumbling golden water in the depths, the lake of imperishable matter. The rich, imperishable matter was imprisoned in a side of the lake. This was also the accumulation of the boundary zone during its peak period. Above the lake, a transparent cover appeared. This was a sealing array, preventing the imperishable matter from leaking out. Fang Ping observed for a while, and very quickly he had an idea. This defensive cover was probably set up by the 3rd elder, who was in a deep sleep. It was to prevent people from trespassing into his place of hibernation. Once Fang Ping broke in, the other party might wake up very quickly. However, with such a close distance, Fang Ping did not necessarily need to break in to kill him. In the next moment, Fang Ping's figure flickered, hiding behind a big tree. There was no one here. This was the 3rd elder's hibernation place. No one else could enter without permission. Fang Ping quickly closed his eyes. He had already sensed 3rd elder's aura. He would enter his path of origin first. In the blink of an eye, Fang Ping's figure appeared in front of a slightly dim avenue. It was very dim. One could even say that it was dark. The avenue was a little deathly still. A paragon who was about to fall. His willpower was no longer strong. After sleeping for many years, even his reaction speed was very slow. If Fang Ping barged into other people's daos, the powerhouses would react quickly. However, at this moment, Fong Ping's appearance did not seem to trigger any reaction from the other party's origin. When this happened, it usually meant that the other party's strength was not as good as Fong Ping's. Therefore, when Fong Ping barged in, they would not notice at all. Sensing this scene, Fong Ping was also speechless. "You deserve to die." This time, Fong Ping was not in a hurry to sever his opponent's Dao. Since the other party had yet to react, he could take his time. Fong Ping did not step into the main street. He stood in front of the main street, his god-slaying saber appearing, aiming at the intersection of the main street. This time, he was prepared to cut off the other party's main street directly. Leaving 1 to 2 meters would be enough. If the great path was severed, leaving a meter or two behind, the other party would be severely injured immediately. Fong Ping had no problem suppressing a severely injured paragon. Without the amplification of the origin Dao, even an emperor might not be his match. Fong Ping aimed at Dao. He raised his saber and brandished it, preparing for a moment. As for a supreme great Dao that was about to fall, he had no interest in taking a closer look. Moreover, he might be discovered by the other party if he entered. "Kill!" Fong Ping let out a low growl. The speed of his saber was unbelievably fast. Rumble! Crack! When he went all out, and the other party did not notice, it was not too difficult for Fong Ping to sever the other party's Dao with the divine weapon in his hand. Moreover, the other party's Dao was already rotten. A loud cracking sound rang out in the source world. At this moment, in the void, an extremely old figure appeared. The old man's hair and beard were all white, as if he had just woken up and was still a little dazed. However, when he saw that his Dao had been severed, the old man sobered up instantly. But it was too late. At this moment, Fong Ping's figure disappeared instantly. The next moment, Fong Ping's real body was extremely fast, quickly breaking through the lake of Eternal's defensive barrier. Almost in the blink of an eye, at the bottom of the lake, Fong Ping pressed one hand on the head of an extremely old man. Crack! Fong Ping did not hesitate at all, directly crushing the other party's skull. Not only that, his mentality erupted instantly, sealing off the surroundings. Only at this moment, in the lake, an illusory spirit body appeared. Before he finished speaking, Fong Ping blasted out a punch, blasting the other party's illusion into pieces. Fong Ping grabbed a small piece and held it in his hand. Holding the god-slaying saber in his right hand, with a sweep of the saber, the other fragments were instantly shattered, completely obliterated. Fong Ping pinched a small fragment in his left hand. At this moment, the fragment turned into the old man's appearance. Fong Ping glanced at it and said lightly, "I almost killed you. You scared me. Don't ask me who I am. There's no need to. Don't say that you're innocent. Everyone has their own difficulties. All right, I've explained everything that needs to be explained. Go back to sleep." While the old man was still in a daze, Fong Ping set up layers after layers of mentality barriers, sealing the small pieces of mentality fragments. "It's my first time killing a paragon is so easy. It seems like I'm really made for being an assassin. Don't feel lonely. Soon, I'll send the others to meet you. If we're going to die, we'll die together. Otherwise, if you die and they're still alive, won't you be jealous? Look at your current situation. Your Dao has been severed, your golden body destroyed. Even if I let you live, you won't be able to live for more than a few days. Right? Are you interested in telling me some secrets? For example, what weaknesses does your ninth elder have? I heard that you're his master. He's been very carefree recently. If he doesn't die, won't you be jealous?" The little illusory figure was a little lifeless. These words, for him, who had already reached the end of his life, it had to be said that there was some truth to it. A powerhouse who had reached this stage was really unwilling. He was also very jealous of those powerhouses who still had lifespans. However, these words, coming from the mouth of a powerhouse who had killed him, really made him speechless. After a pause, Third Elder said in a weak voice, Just as he spoke, Fong Ping's mentality suddenly shook. With a crack, the illusory figure was slightly shattered. Fong Ping bared his teeth. You actually want to King self-destruct. Are you crazy? If you self-destruct and your Tao crumbles, won't you be discovered? All right, I won't ask you anymore. You're smarter than I thought. I'll just seal you. Fong Ping strengthened the seal again. His mentality kept shaking, extremely careful. For the first time, he realized that it was so difficult not to kill the enemy. He couldn't shatter this fragile mental power. If it shattered, the other party would die completely. If he died, he might be exposed. Sigh, it's so hard to leave someone alive. Fong Ping sighed. Only when the other party was about to completely dissipate did Fong Ping stop. At this point, this extremely powerful Third Elder was easily taken care of by Fong Ping. Fong Ping squatted at the bottom of the lake, rubbing his chin. Should I go to the Hall of Elders first, or should I pretend to be this old man here to lure that ninth elder over and ambush him? I'm afraid that the other party doesn't trust his master. That'll be even more troublesome. Forget it. I better go to the Hall of Elders first and find out how to kill the other party more easily. Fong Ping thought for a while and looked at the imperishable substance in the lake. This thing, he did not want it. It had soaked in the old man's corpse before. However, the others did not know. Even if they knew, they might not care. After he was done with his work later, he had to bring these things away. At least 100,000 yuan of imperishable substance and above. This was the least. It was also mixed with a large amount of energy liquid. It was all money. He could not let it go. The first battle was successful. I killed a paragon. Fong Ping counted for himself. The number of paragons he had killed was not little, but it was slightly less than Old Zhang. Old Zhang had killed dozens of paragons alone previously. He had to surpass him as soon as possible. In the next moment, Fong Ping's figure flickered. Very quickly, he left the lake of imperishable substances and rushed toward the Hall of Elders. When a powerhouse with a paragon's combat strength had no aura and could not be sensed, such a powerhouse was an existence that people feared. Not to mention that Fong Ping had many tricks up his sleeves. He could even break into the origin path. With a divine weapon in hand, he was an even more nightmarish existence. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.